Here's Michael Richards. He scores!
The Kitchener Rangers have been putting in overtime this week, and they have clawed their way back to tie this series. It's Erie at Kitchener, Game 5 on Canon Business Solutions, OHL Prime Time. Hi everyone, I'm Dave McLelland. We welcome all of our viewers to our broadcast tonight. Well, after 4 games, it's now down to a best-of-3 series between Kitchener and Erie. Kitchener, having been down 2-0, has now regained home ice advantage. Tonight's hot players are brought to you by the Oakwood Resort Inn Golf and Spa in Grand Bend. Evan McGrath scored 2 goals in the final 4 minutes Wednesday in Erie to force overtime. Otters goalie Josh Disher stopped another 55 shots Wednesday night and boasted a .926 save percentage in this series. Now for their thoughts in this game, let's pop upstairs and join Roger Wardell and Lance Roberts.
Thanks, Dave. A big boost for the Erie Otters tonight. Michael Blunden makes his debut in this series, and this guy could be a spark plug.
He's one of their elite players. He's a crasher, a banger. He's going to bring a lot of energy to this club. It's something that they need right now to get them going again.
The Erie Otters are in this series, though, because a lot of their players have been picking up points, 14 of them, in fact, and Chris Green, a depth guy coming into the playoffs, has really been a front runner in this series.
Well, you find a lot of teams, sometimes you got to have your depth players to come up and play for you and do the good job that they can do, and Chris Green's been one of the best players in this series so far.
The Otters would like Jeff Platt to get it going. Your big guns have to be your big guns. That has been the case for the Kitchener Rangers, but only 6 players have picked up points. Some of the Rangers' depth guys need some points, like Mike Duco.
Yeah, Mike Duco, would like to see a little more points from him on the board, but he's still doing a lot of stuff out there, the big body checks, working hard, playing hard on the defensive side of the puck. So we'll be watching a little bit from Mike Duco. He'll come up big time eventually.
In net for the Rangers, Eric Flagler looks to go 3-0 for the Kitchener Rangers. Peter Sidorkovich, the assistant coach for the Erie Otters, played in the NHL, and he feels this is Flagler's time.
Well, Flagler's come through big time. He's been outstanding, but Peter DeBoer says he's not surprised because this kid's got a lot of character, a lot of talent, and he'll be there at the end of the day.
Well, let's hear from Peter DeBoer and Peter Sidorkovich.
Well, I think we just have to keep doing what we're doing. We're getting 50-plus shots a night. We're getting a lot of chances. Obviously, their goaltender's been outstanding, and they put together some gritty efforts defensively, and we've got to find a way to score goals. If we can get 4 or 5 goals, we're going to have a good chance of winning every game.
Yeah, we get Michael Blunden back, and that's going to be a big boost for us. He gives us a lot more depth, and he's a premier player at this level. He's a big, strong winger with some decent skill, and so hopefully he can be a physical force for us, get in on the forecheck, bang some of their bodies around, go to the net hard, and it gives us a little more depth on the forward lines.
3 out of 4 of the games have gone into overtime. You looking for more of that?
Who knows? It's been a tight series, and like every little play matters. So if it's going into overtime, then we've still got a good chance to win.
Josh Disher, this guy has been phenomenal this series. Can he keep his hot hands going?
Yes, he has been the story. He's been everything that they wanted from him for the Erie Otters. He's been stopping everything. He's seen the puck, some good defense in front of him so far in this overall series.
Eric Flagler gets a starting goal for the Rangers, his second of this postseason, and he has a perfect 2-0-0 record. His 1.02 goals against average is 3rd best in these playoffs.
He's a lot like a Craig Billington, who's been able to come into games a lot from the National Hockey League. He's coming in cold in that game in front of 6,000. A character goaltender. This young man's doing a great job for the Kitchener Rangers.
Patrick Davis, no points in this series. Can he get it going? Playing on the wing with Evan McGrath and Adam Keefe. Matt Lashoff on the blue line with Matt Pepe to start it off. The Otters, Chris Green, Derek Bagshaw, David Herring, Jacob Heller, and Andrew Hoffam. The referee, Ryan Carroll, Kevin Hastings, and Brent Holdsworth working the lines. This is Herring, the leading scorer for the Erie Otters in this series. 3 goals in the series, had not scored a goal in his 27 previous regular season games. There's Patrick Davis, a good opportunity late in the 3rd period in Erie. Can he carry that on tonight in Kitchener? Hotham around the boards. McGrath comes up with it. McGrath cross ice. Here's a shot by Davis, stopped by Josh Disher. Adam Keefe leaves it in the corner for McGrath. The Rangers coming out with some early jump in game number 5. Keefe muscles past his man. And the OHL's coaches poll, Keefe named the hardest worker in the Western Conference, keeps it in, takes a shot. Davis is there, but cannot get it past Disher.
Well, right off the bat, a little bit more Kitchener Rangers coming down to the attack real early here. A lot of good cycling of the puck going on. Evan McGrath setting things up here. Good chance to score again on that one. You see a lot of hard work again by Adam Keefe. He's come to play again tonight. This player just keeps on coming. And of course, he's the hardest worker. That's what he is every night in this rink.
Peter DeBoer juggling up his lines. Azevedo centers Kevin Henderson and Jean-Michel Risk. Duco and Donnelly on the fourth line with Miles Applebaum, who will make his playoff debut tonight for the Rangers. Here's Ryan O'Mara. His wingers, Thomas Galasak and Michael Blunden, number 21. The puck off of his skates right there. Galasak plays it forward for O'Mara. O'Mara, he has been a force in his OHL career in the playoffs. Mind you, he is just 17 years of age. Over a point a game he has averaged. Here's Risk for the Rangers. Azevedo going for the front of the net. Risk spins away from Brian Lee. A -3 in game 4 Lee was. The wrist shot goes wide of the goal. Lee a little slow getting up after some contact in the corner. He's taken a couple of hard shots this series, blocked a couple of shots also. Clarkson takes a shot, rips it a foot wide of the net. Clarkson with a big game winner in game number 4 on a fortunate bounce for the Kitchener Rangers off the end boards in Erie. Now it is Jeff Platt, the speedster. Can he get his game going? Platt in, he dinks. The puck is sitting loose. They shoot at it. And how does Sean O'Connor not bury that puck all alone? Flagler at the side of the net makes a huge save for the Kitchener Rangers.
Well, one thing we talked about with Peter Sidorko at the start of this game, he wanted to see Jeff Platt to step up his game. The best player's got to be their best. And I'll tell you what, he coming off that wing, he was flying to the net there. Flick had to come up big on the save there. You can see that Jeff Platt has decided to start the play here. You can see still the Kitchener Rangers still coming strong here. A lot of good muscle on the boards, good work getting it out, getting set up in this play here. You'll see the good pass across, and here comes Clarkson with a big time shot just with some top corner here. Clarkson off to a good start in this game, also throwing the body right at Blunden. Now you see Platt coming hard around, digging for the net here. A great play by Flagler. They say he has a bit of an unorthodox style as a goaltender, but it's certainly working in this series.
Maybe Vlabek made a pad save there also. Vlabek's shin pads almost the same size as Eric Flagler's goalie pads.
I believe that we have a timeout here for somebody's called a timeout. Maybe here you are, you see Dave McQueen. He's been a long-time coach in this league. He knows it's needed out there for his hockey club. He has to be pretty proud of some of these guys stepping up big time in the different roles. But you can see again, Flagler coming up big. Platt just working hard. He's starting to show that he has to step up. He knows he has to. This team relied on him all year to score some goals. The Erie Otters are going to need him to start to produce if they're going to be able to be successful.
Well, Jeff Platt couldn't beat Eric Flagler. Could Eric Flagler be playing for a job next season on some team as an overager? It's time now for a Moose Winooski's Fan in the Stands. Here is Kelly Walmsley.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Caitlin. Caitlin, it is jammed in the auditorium tonight. Very exciting series. How do you like it so far?
I think they're going to win. They have a good shot against Erie.
Were you listening to the game the other night?
Oh, yeah.
How crazy was that?
It was intense.
Who do you think has been the most outstanding performer so far of the playoffs?
Evan McGrath.
I agree. He's gotten a lot of goals for us, gotten us a lot of situations. Anyway, thank you for coming on. We're going to go back upstairs to Roger and Lance.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. Let's take another look at the play by Jeff Platt. I think if this guy gets one goal, he could get a few.
Well, this is why they say he's the fastest skater and the best skater in this league. You can see how hard he can cut around the defenseman. He is so dangerous from the outside, and making a big save there also is Vlabek, who's been playing a pretty solid so far in this series. He played pretty solid down towards the end of the year, and he's still playing pretty strong and making a big play there and keeping the puck out of the net.
Oh, we saw that earlier in this series, a big body check. This time not much of a collision, but one of those seamless glass partitions, I guess you could say, has come out, and they will put a new one in. Let's take a look at the line combinations for tonight's game. The Kitchener Rangers doing a lot of juggling with their combinations. Michael Richards out with David Clarkson. Clarkson moving up to join Michael Richards on that top unit. That is a change by Peter DeBoer. And how about Mike Duco on the fourth line.
Well, you know one thing that Peter DeBoer's never been afraid of is that's to be putting different players in different situations, different lineups. He's done it all year.
Well, we're ready to get this game back underway. 2 minutes and 15 seconds is gone, no score. The Rangers and the Erie Otters. Game number 5, the series tied at 2 games apiece. Erie won games 1 and 2. The Rangers games number 3 and 4.
Well, Mike Richards, of course, has been a big reason why the Kitchener Rangers have stepped their game up and won the last 2 games. He came out in game 3. He was on fire and showed them what they had to do to win.
Merlini at the blue line, his shot wide of the goal. Mark Fraser, maybe one of the unsung heroes on the Kitchener lineup, out against that Jeff Platt line. Impressive for a rookie. And he and Andre Benoit have done a fine job. Benoit leads all defensemen in scoring and doing a good job on the most potent goal scorer in this hockey series. Second most goals in the OHL. Platt winds, he shoots, Flagler the save, a big rebound, showing what Jeff Platt can do. Some mustard on that slap shot. Now Flagler will poke it into the corner. Andrew Shannon puts it to the back of the net. And now it is Craig Vokes. David Clarkson joins him on the rush. Richards trails. Richards looking for Clarkson. The Erie Otters come up with the puck. Sean O'Connor, the Trenton, Michigan boy, fires one in. Eric Flagler, much more active than Dan Turple, playing the puck.
Yeah, he does a good job of getting out there to handle that puck. One of those skills they're trying to take away in the NHL, but he does it here night after night when he plays.
Well, talks of making the goal nets bigger in the NHL. Eric Flagler says, no, I prefer hockey over soccer, thank you very much. Teams battle for the puck. It's the Rangers' 4th unit. Applebaum with Duco and big Ryan Donnelly. Green, Herring, and Bagshaw for the Erie Otters. Maybe the line of this series, not maybe expected to be such a force as they have been so far. Heller almost coughs up the puck, misplays it, but does get it out of harm's way. Vlabek takes a hit from Herring. Vlabek goes down to the ice, gets right back up. And now the Rangers will make a wholesale line change. It's the McGrath unit with Patrick Davis. Davis looking dangerous. Oh, for McGrath, puts it off the goal post. And Josh Disher loses his goalie stick. That's a common theme. Davis with the puck, but he does make the outstanding saves. Here's Davis, a backhander. Puck is bouncing. McGrath can't come up with it. Now it is Blunden to center ice, takes a hit from Davis. Disher, he looks solid again.
Well, you can see again, you see Patrick Davis cutting to the net here, setting things up just off the post here. Nice try, nice play. Disher again being able to make the save. Now you see Platt coming back with his opportunity here, big shot. He has to start putting pucks in the net. He has to see what he can do, but so far Benoit and Fraser being matched up against him in this series have done an excellent job of shutting down this top scorer.
O'Mara. That said, though, the Erie Otters in some ways fortunate to have this series tied when their top scorer has no goals.
Well, you know, it's funny. Peter Sidorkiewicz says that if we had been asked if it was 2-2 at this time, if he'd be happy coming in as an underdog, and they did come in as an underdog. And right now, he says, yes, we had to be pretty happy with that, but he says we didn't come here to lose this series either.
Now they have an opportunity to steal one here tonight and wrap it up on home ice tomorrow evening in Erie. There's Jean-Michel Risk up for Kevin Henderson. He's been working his way into Peter DeBoer's good books, getting more ice time as this series has transpired.
And he's earned every bit of it.
Henderson with some good energy on the ice for the Rangers. Maybe watching Adam Keefe. Lashoff hands it up to Henderson. He chips it in, takes a stiff hit from O'Mara. And Brian Lee, in the OHL coaches poll, ranked the 3rd best defensive defenseman in the Western Conference. Jordan Smith, the Sault Ste. Marie, and Danny Savret ahead of him.
Well, he's blocked as many shots out there some nights, I think, as anybody in the building. He's blocked a lot of shots in front of Disher, kept the way clear for Disher to see the shots. So, yes, Brian Lee definitely has been a big asset for the Erie Otters.
He and Herring part of that OHL championship squad in 2002.
Look at him, 43 playoff games for that veteran defenseman. He knows what it takes to win in this league.
It's a Platt unit against the Richards unit, and Peter DeBoer getting Mark Fraser and Andre Benoit out against Platt. Here's Fraser's shot. That one is steered aside by Josh Disher. Again, no Jakob Kindle for the Kitchener Rangers. Richards, a hard hit, but he is going to get called. Referee Ryan Carroll with his arm raised.
Ryan Carroll going for the checking from behind penalty here. I'm not sure if it'll be a 2 or a 4. You see him turning here, getting from behind. He has to make that call. That's one call that has to be made. Probably will be about a 2-minute minor or a 4-minute minor because he does do the turn before he gets hit. Richards coming in and finishing the check on him, but that's something in minor hockey would be a game misconduct. He'd be gone. You have to be respecting the fact that the guy's back's turned to you.
Well, we talked about it, how Andrew Shannon in their last game of the season drilled Boris Vlahovic and how it was a charge, but still the defenseman needed to have his head up. There's a case that Erie Otter puts himself in a vulnerable position.
Yes, he does, but it's still a responsibility of the guy doing the body check.
Adam Keefe being harassed, the fans wanting an even up penalty, not going to happen. Well, neither team's power play has been much to talk about. 14.3% of the time the Erie Otters have scored in this playoff series, and just 1 for 16 times here in Kitchener.
Well, Adam Keefe, you just see out there killing that penalty off. He's working hard. He's doing what it takes to get this team going again tonight. You see the big check here, coming in and taking control along the boards here, doing a great job and working with the along the boards, showing some toughness. One thing though is that the fact is that the Erie Otters, I think Peter Sidorowicz has told their team, let's stop taking some penalties. We had 38 some power plays that we've given them so far. We cannot continue to do that and be successful in this series.
So Mara and Blunden and O'Connor up front. Lee on the blue line with Jeff Platt. So an opportunity here for Michael Blunden to make his presence felt. However, he only had 2 points in 7 games versus the Rangers in the regular season. O'Mara chips it in. Boris Vlahovic. Puck bounces over his stick. The Otters battle for it. Here is McGrath. Pokes at it. Platt gets to the puck before he does. Now the Rangers, Pepe and Vlahovic doing a great job. Strong on the puck, and they get it the length of the ice. 50 seconds left in the penalty to the best penalty killer in the OHL as voted by the coaches, Michael Richards. Matt Lashoff does a good job in front of his own goal, and Adam Keefe will chip it down the ice.
Look, I got a 3-minute on the ice penalty coming up to the Erie Otters. Behind the play, Brent Holsworth making the call on that one, seeing it. He's calling him for 2 minutes on the ice. They got 6 skaters out there skating around. It's pretty easy to see the 6 ducks on the ponds out there, and you can see again the Erie Otters setting their power play, getting some opportunities here, but there's been some tough physical play early in this game, Roger.
Well, we're 7 minutes and 10 seconds into it. No score, 5-3. Kitchener out shooting the Erie Otters, and O'Connor will be the man sitting the too many men on the ice penalty. So it's 4-on-4 for 38 seconds, and Kitchener to the power play.
Well, you see Matt Lashoff, that's one guy out there who's been playing pretty solid so far. He's one of those guys that can really do some work for you offensively, bringing the puck out of the zone.
Well, it was Kitchener with a 4-on-4 pulling their goalie to tie the game. Here is Davis. He shoots. He scores. Patrick Davis. His first goal of the series.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Roger, you can't teach this stuff. You just can't teach a guy to be able to make the shot that he made right here, go to the top corner and beat a big league goalie like Disher. What a tremendous athlete this Patrick Davis is, coming back from all kinds of injuries, stepping in big time with a big goal early in this game to get this Kitchener Rangers on the board and on fire.
So Davis unassisted at 7:29. We talked about Mike Duco needing to step up for the Rangers. Patrick Davis, another one of those 20-goal scorers with no goals coming into tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, you're not going to keep these guys off the board for long for a whole series, but you got to realize you're in a playoff atmosphere, playoff games. Lots of guys are being checked differently. They're being watch closer in certain situations, and that sometimes will shut down some scores in a long playoff series, Roger.
Eric Flagler, a force in net for the Kitchener Rangers since replacing Dan Turple. .960 save percentage. Mark Packwood, the backup tonight. Peter DeBoer says Turple's status is day-to-day. He'll be a game-time decision tomorrow in Erie. I'm sure what happens tonight will play into his decision, though. If Flagler can win and plays excellent, I would imagine he would get the start. Why risk putting Turple in the net? A lot of hockey to be played tonight, though. Flagler has faced only 4 shots. 7 for Josh Disher, Patrick Davis. Well, the difference so far. Here's Bagshaw, bad angle. Flagler makes the save, but second time tonight gives up a bit of a juicy rebound. That time, though, only Rangers around him. Here is Craig Vokes, wide around the goal. Now he'll play it back to Michael Richards. Kitchener on the power play. Out front, Clarkson shoots, and Disher robs him. Disher has robbed Clarkson a few times this series from point blank. Out front, he misses it. The shot off the stick of Richards, and that one is blocked. Craig Vokes puts it back in for the captain. He can't find it. David Clarkson will, but so will Vince Scott, who gets it the length of the ice. Kitchener trying to catch Erie on the line change. Now the Otters back to full strength. Boris Valabic takes a shot. Well, that one is blocked by Blunden. Here's Andrew Hotham. Loses it. Adam Keefe all alone. He digs. Tries to wrap it in. He can't. McGrath tries to put it out front. Adam Keefe. A glorious opportunity. Can't get it past Disher. Blunden shot, a weak one. Trickles into the corner. Fraser battling with his man. That is a big, solid Ryan O'Mara. Adam Keefe showing the patience of a goal scorer, but unable to bury it. Jean-Michel Risk battles with Tomas Galasek. Now Mark Fraser up to center ice. Fraser from Gloucester, Ontario. Same hometown as Michael Blunden.
Well, you see Adam Keefe here doing some good yeoman work here, showing some great patience with the puck and trying to do a little nifty stuff, coming back and stuffing it into the net here, and Evan McGrath working hard with him too. But you can see the possession, the puck possession down low, but you can see Clarkson, and it must, just to watch that Clarkson shot, at the beginning knocked down the way he was, and to get that shot off, it takes a great amount of concentration and toughness to be able to make those kind of plays, and Clarkson did it on that one.
Rangers work it up to center. Pepe will slide it in. Dan Jens dressed tonight. Hasn't seen the ice yet, though, with Jakob Kindle out for the second straight game. Upper body injury is all the Rangers will say. There is David Herring with the puck. Up to Chris Green. Green looks to drop it for McLean. Maybe should have took the shot instead. Matt Lashoff spins away, finds some open ice. And Jean-Michel Risk comes up with the puck. A pass through to Henderson, a nifty little pass, but he was all tied up by David Herring. Now Jean-Michel Risk battles for the puck. Gets it back into the corner where Brian Lee will pick it up. The 6'2", 200-pounder to the rookie, Brett McLean. Still just 16 years of age. Lee pokes it up through center ice, and here is Mike Duco. The youngster, the rookie. 24 goals in the regular season, 26 assists. Looking for his first point in game number 5 of this series. Platt takes a shot, Flagler the save. A juicy rebound, swatted aside. Ryan Donnelly gets it to Miles Applebaum. Mike Duco takes a shot, and that one will find the stands.
Well, you see that Platt, he's come to play tonight. He knows that he has to get his game up to the next level. Obviously, Dave McQueen has told him, you better step it up, kid. We need you. You can see the big shot here. Nice save by Flagler. Coming up big. You can see Fraser coming to him right away there to make the check.
Let's go to Kelly Walmsley for Moose Winooski's fan in the stands.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with 9-year-old Rachel. This is her first playoff game. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yes, the crowd gets really actually electric, it almost seems like, when they score, and I'm happy that we're winning, and I hope we do win this game so we can go off and maybe be the champions this year again like 2003.
You are one smart cookie, you know that? Okay, we're going to go back upstairs to Roger and Lance. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Kelly. Richards shoots. He scores! It's the Michael Richards Show. Giddy up. David Clarkson causing a big-time screen.
Well, you can see David Clarkson doing what David Clarkson does best, making traffic in front of that net for Disher. And Michael Richards, of course, we all know what he can do when he gets these opportunities. He blazes one right through the pads of Disher, and Disher's not able to handle that hot shot from Michael Richards. You got to wonder if Josh Disher, all the hockey he's played, all the shots that he's seen, 3 overtime periods, it could be something about fatigue might be settling in here.
Well, this is a position the Rangers have not been in all series long, up 2-0 in the first period.
Well, they're starting to step up. Some of these things are starting to bounce their way. A couple of bounces here and there. Pucks going to the net. Clarkson going to the net, making things real tough for Disher in that net. And Michael Richards, of course, playing the game that he can play. Could be making a big difference right now in this hockey game early on.
Well, David Clarkson does get credit for that goal, so he must have deflected it. Richards and Fraser the assists, and we have a couple of penalties coming up.
Yeah, 2 guys go in the box for the roughing here. Ryan Carroll, good referee, level 6 with Hockey Canada, one of the upcoming referees in the Hockey Canada program, doing a great job so far this season, putting them in box 2 minutes each for roughing.
Ranger penalty to number 17, David Clarkson. Erie penalty to number 20, Thomas Galasek. 2 minutes each for roughing. The time.
So it's Clarkson, Galasek, each for roughing. We're back to 4-on-4. The Rangers' first goal, Patrick Davis at 7:29. That one was on a 4-on-4 situation. And here is Davis again out on the ice with Evan McGrath. It is Blunden and O'Mara for the Otters. This is Andrew Hotham, the former Barrie Colt, deep in the Ranger zone. It is standing room only here tonight at the Dom Cardillo Arena. Packed 2 deeps in spots in the corners. O'Mara back to the blue line, a poor pass. Davis picks it up. Andre Benoit joins the rush. Benoit takes a shot, and Disher makes a save.
Well, Andre Benoit doing a great job so far in this playoff series. He's been the #1 guy for them, and you can see his playoff career, 34 games, and the number of goals that he can score and the number of goals he's had over his career. He's definitely a player that's had a great junior hockey career in the last 5 years.
Came into Kitchener as an underager and now in his overage year. Just a stellar junior hockey career. 7:06 to go in the first period. Peter DeBoer keeping his team motivated. Mark Fraser takes a shot. That one goes wide of the goal. Merlini puts it around the boards. Can the Rangers get the next goal? It could be a huge one in the confidence of netminder Josh Disher. Richards runs into the captain Brian Lee. Glove pass is the call.
Well, you see Jeff Platt trying to get on one, but Mark Fraser's been doing a great job. First year in the playoffs for him in an OHL playoff series and doing a good job what he has to do. Chris Green for the Erie Otters, first year in a playoffs with the OHL, doing a great job also. You can see some of these guys have been big factors in this series so far.
50 seconds left on this 4-on-4. It's Andre Benoit for Richards, too far for him. Now Mike Duco tries to shovel it ahead. Brian Lee hit hard by Duco. Puck is picked up by Derek Merlini, 134 penalty minutes in the regular season. Platt, a long shot. Flagler makes a save again. The rebound cleared aside by the Rangers. I've talked a little bit about Flagler giving up big rebounds, but also last year Trevor Kidd telling me, goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs, that sometimes the big rebounds, if you kick them out, are just as good as no rebounds, as Richards drives to front of the net. And Disher makes a save. The big rebounds, at least it's not sitting there for the easy tap in.
Well, he does play a little different style of goal back there, but you got to know, like an Arthur Urbe type player, Arthur Uribe won so many series for San Jose when they were a team in the playoffs. You can see the big battle going on with Michael Richards here, and they all know that you can put ugly shots in the net. They count just as good as the pretty ones. You put pretty ones, you put dresses on.
Yes, I like the pretty ones. Here's Mike Duco. Nothing pretty about that. He is driving hard and makes the big hit. Team's back to full strength, 5-on-5 hockey. Andrew Hotham, Ryan Donnelly covering up for his defenseman. Keeps it in as Vlasic tries to get back into position. Thomas Galasek in the corner. Gets away from a hit of Matt Pepe. Vlasic stops Galasek in his track, and the Rangers playing a fine game. Those 2 goals on Josh Disher seem to give them maybe a little bit of confidence. They know Disher is beatable. Donnelly shot the rebound, bounces over the stick of McGrath. Pepe shot. That one is blocked by Herring, and Pepe will poke it in. Keeps it in for a second or two. And now the Otters will work it up to center ice. Chris Green hands it off to Herring. And then they don't get much done on this rush. Merlini cross ice. Matt Lashoff picks it up. Lashoff looking for his first point of the series. Doesn't miss the net by very much with that wicked slap shot. Now Brian Lee and Lashoff. He is ridden out by Blunden. Kevin Henderson chips it in. Merlini has Risk tied up. Now it is Azevedo. O'Mara loses it to Azevedo. The puck is sitting out front. They bang at it. Risk gets a shot away, and the save is made by Josh Disher. 15-7. Make that 15-8. Kitchener out shooting the Otters. 4:14 to go in the first period. It's Roger Wardell and Lance Roberts with you. And Disher makes a save. It's Roger Wardell with the hoarse voice tonight.
Well, you see here, you see Lashoff doing what he does best, carrying the puck through the neutral zone, getting a chance to taking the big rip at the goal here. You see some more banging and crashing out there. These guys are playing some physical game. You see Chris Green here. He has been a major impact for the Erie Otters, leading them in scoring right now. First year in the OHL playoffs. He's been a remarkable story in this playoffs, and that's one thing you want to see from a young talent like that. It's just out there driving the net and doing the job he has to do.
Well, the referee not letting the Otters make a late change. Shannon has to go off. Michael Blunden forced to stay on the ice. It's the Richards unit for the Rangers. Clarkson up with Richards tonight with Craig Vokes. Here is Clarkson. Now it is Vokes spinning away from a check. Vokes finds an opening. Vokes spins and shoots, just puts it wide of the goal. And Hotham will clear it up to O'Connor. Pepe up through center ice. And now Jeff Platt looking for the puck, and it is called on the offside pass.
We see some good action again. Kitchener Rangers really taking the force of this hockey game right into their hands here. Craig Vokes doing a good wrap around here. Good puck control. Just about puts one past Disher on the low side, but you can see the confidence that these Kitchener Rangers, as you were talking about earlier, Roger, the confidence they're picking up from that guy there, Richards. That goal he scored in that third game, that big goal that he scored being dragged down top corner. It's rejuvenated this team, and they haven't looked back since.
Quick offside. Richards shaking his hand. Looks like he might have took a bit of a slash from Jeff Platt.
Andre Benoit, what a great series he's having. David Clarkson. These are the guys that have to step up for the Kitchener Rangers. And like we say, and like you say, Roger, the best players are going to be their best. And if you get your best players being their best, you'll have success with your hockey club.
Well, I think the likes of Benoit had stepped up in this series for sure.
Yeah.
Doing it defensively and offensively. And Clarkson the last game, as Clarkson tries to give a bit of a hack to Sean O'Connor. And then Clarkson runs at Brian Lee. Discipline maybe now the key for the Rangers with a 2-0 lead. Matt Pepe being watched closely, uses his partner Benoit. Rangers mainly going with 5 defensemen tonight. Kindle out. Dan Jens, the extra defenseman, or the 6th defenseman tonight, hasn't seen the ice as of yet. Michael Richards on the puck in the corner. For the most part, though, the Otters go with their 4 big defensemen also. Here is Craig Vokes winding, shooting. Josh Disher makes the save as Richards crashes the net, and Richards may be going off as he takes Platt hard towards the goaltender.
I don't know what's happened in front of that net there because Clarkson's pretty well really upset about something here, but it looked like it was his own player, Merlini, high stick Platt with his stick as he's going through. I'm not sure what Ryan Carroll's calling in this situation, but you'll see him coming through here. Richard whacks him in the back of the legs. Well, that's what happens there, so that's what he's looking at for the slashing penalty on Richards, which caused Platt to go down. So we'll be looking at, I'm not sure if it'll be just a minor penalty or both players are going off 2 weeks. I'm not sure what Platt did in this situation, but you can see the tough, rough play going on there along the wall. It's really physical when you get to the boards here. A lot of tough hockey being played along the boards in the battles for the puck. Richards again front and center in this hockey game, playing as physical as he usually does.
I think Richards wanted to get back at Platt, give him a bit of a slash at the last face-off. It looked like Platt went down fairly easily that time, and he drew the penalty, but Platt gets one also, so it's 4-on-4 hockey. Look at this, Patrick Davis, some good hustle. Now McGrath comes up with the puck. Davis asks for it, and it goes off of the skate of Brian Lee. Now it is Chris Green, the Messina, New York native. He has Tomas Galasek on the rush with him. This is Galasek now with the puck, drops it back, just kept in at the blue line by Jacob Heller. Now Lashoff tries to poke it forward, he does. Evan McGrath comes up with the puck, Davis with it. Davis looking for someone to pass it to, gets it to McGrath, but he can't get a shot on goal. Davis cross ice for Benoit, he has an empty net and rips it wide. Disher did get a piece of his glove on it, but the shot was going wide. Benoit had the top corner to pick. Now the puck pinned against the boards. Benoit was trapped in there. And here is Andrew Hotham. Poke check nicely by Matt Lashoff. Duco playing defense. Flagler upends Hotham in behind the play. Play continues on. 50 seconds left on this 4-on-4.
Well, good opportunity there for Andre Benoit. He doesn't usually miss very many of these. He takes these shots and does them in his sleep. You see the hard work by Patrick Davis. He is playing such a great game tonight. Looking smart out there, feeds it directly over. And you see District does get a piece of that puck and keeping it out. So right now the Kitchener Rangers have had 19 shots already in this period. I don't know how long this District can continue to stand the assault of the puck coming at him. Night after day, he's seen more rubber than the Goodyear Tire Man.
That's a lot of rubber. Minute 40 to go. Mike Duco out with Justin Azevedo. Azevedo having a strong series, but he too with no points coming into tonight. Mike Duco can't come up with the puck. Michael Blunden does, and he is stood up at the blue line by Mark Fraser. Boris Valavic, he is bumped, rubbed out by Ryan O'Mara, and we have a whistle on the play.
Well, the physical part of this game, one thing you talked about, Roger, to do is confidence out there. And the other thing you talked about is the fact that the four defensemen they've been going with, they've been rolling four defensemen, the Erie Otters. You got to wonder, in a 4-game series coming into the 5th game here, that's a lot of ice time for Brian Lee and Merlini and on that defensive core trying to withstand the assault that's been coming at him from the Kitchener Rangers. So we'll see if that becomes a factor as this series wears on.
Well, here's Lee. His shot deflects. He scored! Just like that, the Erie Otters back into this hockey game.
This little sloppy play, losing the face-off on the draw on this one. You got to stay bared down on your own end. Erie Otters taking a good advantage of winning this draw, getting it back cleanly, and just getting the shot off. A little deflection here. Catches Flagler a little bit out of his net there with the style that he plays, and it's able to trickle in across the line. And now 2-1 with Erie Otters. That could be something that'll help them get the momentum back, get them going in this hockey game.
Looked like Sean O'Connor may have deflected that point shot by Brian Lee.
Erie goal scored by number 10, Sean O'Connor.
And the Otters have a knack for getting the goal on any opportunity. There is another one. Here comes Bagshaw. Can they tie it? There's a shot. Flagler gets enough of that one. That's when the Rangers thought maybe things were going their way. They're back into a dogfight. Fraser chips it up to center ice, and that one will find the stands.
Well, you know, Dave McQueen said it best at the start of the season about this hockey club is that they go quietly about their business. They just do their job night after night. They stay right in there with any team in this league, and they've been doing that so far in this series. The Kitchener Rangers have had their hands full night after night with this club.
Michael Richards against O'Mara. Lashoff touches it with the high stick, so Richards lets O'Mara play the puck. And Kitchener works it up to center ice. That pass off the skate. Lashoff forced back into his own zone. Just chips it out of harm's way. And now it is Michael Richards. Takes a shot. Disher steers that one aside. Puck is sitting there. Richards didn't realize it. O'Mara picks it up. And he'll play it to the blue line. 2 Rangers are there. They keep it in for the time being. Lashoff pokes it ahead niftily. Heller bounces it off the boards. Blunden takes a wild slap at the puck, connects with Ryan Donnelly, and now Donnelly comes back at him, and tempers start to flare as the first period comes to an end.
Well, you can see the emotion these two teams have in this series. Both of them pretty close to the standings this year. Both of them have a chance to win this thing, and they are continuing to play at a high level. They're playing tough and strong out there. It's been some great hockey all around, Roger.
Well, Michael Richards doesn't beat Disher this time, but the Rangers do get 2 past him in lead, 2-1 after 1 period of play. Justin Azevedo will join Dave McLelland. We'll take a break, be back with plenty more right after this. You're watching Canon Business Solutions OHL Prime Time on Rogers Television.
Welcome back to Canon Business Solutions OHL Prime Time. My first intermission guest from the Kitchener Rangers, number 15, Justin Azevedo. Justin, first of all, it's a special day to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Now, this is Big 17.
It is.
Yeah. What would be the best birthday gift Justin could get today?
I think win this game.
Well, I think so too. And you've got to jump on it. You're up 2-1 after 1. But your comments on that first period?
We got two early goals there. You know, we had right in front of the net. That's where all the goals have been, and they get one. But we're gonna have to keep going to the net. You know, get in front of Disher and keep banging away.
Well, I think you proved early in the game that you can beat them, and you know, it's those 2 goals were big goals to get you guys started. Let's go back for a moment to Wednesday night. Can you actually describe your feelings about that win in Erie?
Oh, that was something else. It was I don't know, last 10 minutes. We waited till the last 10 minutes to get our goals.
Have you ever been aware of a goalie being pulled twice and scoring 2 goals?
No.
That was pretty unusual, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And they tell me that Evan was playing with the flu. It's too bad he wasn't feeling well. He only scored 2 goals, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He wasn't feeling through the day before that too, and he just stayed in the hotel. But he played great that game.
Now the overtime goal that Clarkey got was a little unusual.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even see it. Yeah, I heard it just came in front of the net and he banged it in.
We had a goal like that here in 1984. That's before you were born, my friend. Yeah. But it was the Memorial Cup Finals. Rangers were hosting. Ottawa 67s were the OHL champions, and they came together in the championship game. A very close game. Ottawa ringed the puck in off the glass, came out. The Ranger goalie went back to block it, came off and upright. They got an empty net goal, and Ottawa went on to win 7-2 or 7-3. So a goal like that could really change the way you look at things.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah. Now, you know, you guys have got home ice advantage back after being down 2 games in this series. This is a pretty important game, obviously.
It is. We got to win this one, and if we don't, we're going back to Erie, and it's a tough barn to play, you know. But win today, hopefully get a win tomorrow, and go on from there.
Get a couple of days before the next series.
Yeah.
You know, you're 17 today. You're a young fella still, certainly relative to an old guy like me. Must be pretty exciting for you to be in your first OHL playoff series.
It's something else. It's great. Like, the atmosphere here is amazing, and just the hockey alone it's great.
What do you think of the fans of Kitchener?
Unbelievable.
that probably sums it up, doesn't it, when you say unbelievable? We get close to 6,000 here every game, whether it's midweek or whether it's Friday night or big night or whatever night it might be, and they certainly are cheering those Rangers on.
Yeah, they're great. They're behind us every way.
Good. Well, Justin, again, congratulations to you personally on having your birthday today, and we hope you get the gift that you hoped for when we spoke earlier. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back and join Roger and Lance with their story update.
Welcome back to the Dom Cardillo Arena. The Rangers leading the Erie Otters 2-1 after one period of play. Davis and Clarkson the goal scorers for the Rangers. Sean O'Connor for the Erie Otters. And we talked off the top of the broadcast about how only 6 Kitchener Ranger players have picked up points in this series, but Patrick Davis in that 4-on-4 situation showed if he gets an opportunity really what he can do.
He's one of the best players on the ice so far tonight. He is showing what he can do as a player. He's so athletic out there, some great puck control, and you just look at this shot, top corner, top shelf. He makes it look so natural out there. He is one great performer, Patrick Davis.
Well, for the Erie Otters, he should have some fresh legs. Michael Blunden hasn't played in 10 games after getting the suspension for throwing Corey Perry's stick into the stands. Not a big factor yet in this hockey game.
Well, you know, he's been gone for quite a while. He's going to have to step up a little bit, get his feet wet. He took a couple of body checks, threw a few body checks, did some banging and crashed a little bit. But yeah, they're going to need him to get really into the game real quick.
And the Erie Otters, the fortunate goal by O'Connor. Chris Green, though, this guy, can you really say enough about what he has brought into this hockey series?
He's a great player. He comes from Hawkesbury Junior A, come out of that farm system in there, and he's just been super in this playoff so far. He's one player that they've really looked to, and he's stepping it up. And the fact that Jeff Platt hasn't been able to get his scoring going, they've really been glad to see he's been able to put the puck in the net.
And here is Green. He has a nose for the front of the net and also not afraid to mix it up also. We talk about the Kitchener Rangers and how they need to get some goal scoring from other sources. Patrick Davis did come through in that regard, but how about Mike Duco on the 4th line now with Applebaum and Donnelly? Donnelly and Duco, does this D stand for demotion, or is Peter DeBoer just trying to spread the scoring around?
Well, I think Peter DeBoer just likes to move his lines here and there, get different guys in different situations so the other team can't just start to focus on one line, try to get one line off their game and then they shut your team down. Michael Duco is one player that can bang, crash, do what he has to do out there, play some good, strong defensive hockey. He's another one that's his first year in the OHL playoffs here. First year in the league this year, had 20, did a pretty good job with the number of goals he scored this year. So I think Michael Duco is going to learn a lot in this series. He's still playing well. He's hitting pretty hard, playing solid defensively.
Well, let's talk about some issues around hockey in general, the NHL or the OHL, whatever it may be. A number of topics to discuss. How about Dave Barr, the Ryan Potroff incident, NHL, bigger net, Scott Dickey, Junior B hockey. Maybe let's start with, what do you want to start with? How about Dave Barr? Kevin Hastings, the linesman who was doing the lines in this hockey game tonight, had reported during that game that he heard Dave Barr say, somebody go out there and break a wrist or break his wrist, something to that extent, to go out and injure Corey Perry.
Well, we gotta find out how that was said in the context of what happened. But let's keep one thing perfectly clear. I've known Dave Barr since he played junior hockey. I refereed Dave Barr throughout his whole entire career. I do not believe that Dave Barr teaches, trains, has his players go out there to hurt players intentionally. Dave Barr might have been saying to them, I want someone to stop this guy, do something, break, whatever you got to do out there, play tough, do what you got to do. But I do not believe, I still have respect for Dave Barr. I know the linesman, I think that Kevin Hastings did the right thing. He has to do that if he hears something of that nature. Now the league's looking after it, and I am sure that Dave Branch, after investigating the whole situation, will know exactly what happened, and Dave Barr will be able to do his job again.
Well, we'll take a look at that play right now. We happen to have the footage, and a ruling is expected to come down maybe next week. A vicious slash, but not an uncommon slash that you see slashes like that other times in the OHL.
Well, the thing about that's kind of been questioned a little bit is why didn't the linesman say something prior to that situation happening? I mean, when it did happen, then he thought, well, maybe it had something to do with it. I don't know. But still, Kevin Hastings did what he thought was right, and he did the right thing by bringing it to someone's attention at the point of that happening. He has to make some kind of a statement to the referee to say, listen, I heard this. Now we have this slashing situation. It has to be dealt with, and they dealt with it the way it's being dealt. But let's keep in mind that Dave Branch will investigate, look into it. That's a pretty serious chop of a player taking his stick. It's a lot of lack of respect for your opponent when you're doing something like that.
Well, Dave Barr is a respectable coach, but still, he has admitted he said some things he shouldn't have, and that is not something you do want in the Ontario Hockey League. But as you say, he is a respectable coach and certainly wouldn't teach his teams to do that. And let's not forget the London Knights. Mark Hunter was suspended for sending a player out to fight also. A lot of other issues we didn't talk about. We'll talk about Scott Dickey and the Elmer Blues and their run to the Allen Cup also. We'll take a break. The second period is coming up. The Rangers lead the Erie Otters 2-1 after one period of play. Josh Disher beaten on 2 of 20 shots he faced in the first period. Eric Flagler beaten on 1 of 9 as we sit 2-1 getting ready to start the second period of play.
We'll have to see how things shape up in this period. Now a little bit of momentum with the Erie Otters getting that goal late in the period. But you can see Patrick Davis doing a great job here, snapping this one to the top corner. Disher not much chance. You can see the D for the Erie Otters is only going with 4 D so far, and Peter Sidorkowicz and Dave McQueen both believe that you go with your best because that's what's going to bring you here. That's what you're going to have to take you to the dance.
Yep, he said they've always had the philosophy since they've been together that you live with your best players and you die with your best players.
We'll talk about best players. Ryan O'Meara last year had 10 points in 9 games last year in the playoffs. They got to see some more from him also.
Well, second period is underway. Here is Boris Volabik for the Kitchener Rangers, a big guy getting his big legs going. McGrath will shoot it in. Davis and Keefe up front. Pepe joins Volabik on the blue line for the Rangers. It's Chris Green, Herring, and Bagshaw. This is McGrath. The wraparound goes through the goal crease. No Rangers able to bat it in. Keefe battling for it. Now Matt Pepe puts it into the corner. Patrick Davis comes up with it. Here is McGrath, spins and shoots, it deflects. And a nice save by Disher, and a penalty coming up, it looks like, to the Erie Otters.
Here you see a high stick coming up here for Brian Lee, a little bit on the call here off of Keefe, but you can see some good job here by Evan McGrath getting the puck across the ice, doing a good job again. They're doing so well now with their ability to cycle the puck. The Rangers have been able to get puck possession in the zone, and they're doing a lot of damage with that right now.
So it is the captain to the penalty box. Well, when we were off air commercials in our first intermission, we took another look at one of the Ranger goals, the one by Clarkson. It looked like it was a double deflection to beat Josh Disher off of both Merlini and Lee, so maybe that's what it takes to beat Disher in this series, unless you're Patrick Davis and you put it in off the crossbar and in.
You need a double dip to get past Disher.
Yes. As spring approaches, this is Richards approaching the net, and he takes Disher into the net, but not the puck.
He is such an amazing player to watch, this Richards. Roger, he does everything. He battles hard, he makes the plays, he's got great moves, got great hands. You can see the speed he has. He's just an all-around hockey player. He's a 5-star. You see him here trying to split the D. He's got no fear whatsoever. He doesn't have anything. I don't think there's anything out in that ice at all that he's afraid of.
There he goes. Now the face-off to the right of Josh Disher. Richards will take it. Richards voted the best face-off man in the OHL, but you'll notice sometimes Azevedo, the youngster, will take the face-offs. If it's on the other side of the ice, Azevedo will take the face-offs. Both Richards and Azevedo, Peter DeBoer feels, are stellar when they draw to their backhand side. Here it's Richards, and there is Disher, stellar in the net. And Benoit has a puck bounce over his stick as the pressure was being laid upon the Otters. What a save by Disher.
You can't get a shot off faster than that and have a goaltender come across and make the save. That was an amazing save by Disher.
Well, this series long from over. Kitchener up 2-0 in the first period. David Clarkson at the 11:54 mark. It looked like maybe the Rangers are going to put it into cruise control, but these Erie Otters are in for the long haul, and now they're off to the power play.
You're going to see Craig Vokes is going to go for elbowing here, going high to the head area, and that's what they're going to react to as officials. That's what they should be trained to react to. You'll see the big hit here coming in, taking him to the head area right there. You can't be going that high to a man's head. You're going to be going to the box for something like that.
So it's 4-on-4 here for 48 seconds. Then Erie will go to the power play as Brian Lee already in the penalty box for the Erie Otters. And look at Disher here.
You can see how quickly that Mike Richards gets that shot off of Disher, how fast he comes across. We see he may be getting a little tired from all that rubber. He seems to be getting stronger as this game goes on.
Richards stays out on the ice with Patrick Davis, Lashoff and Volabik on the blue line. Green and Shannon, Hotham and Heller for the Otters. There's big Volabik, gets it up the left side. Shannon now on it. He runs into Volabik and Matt Lashoff. Spots an opening, gets it to Michael Richards, and he'll just slap it out to center. And here is Richards getting it off Heller, who was feeling the pressure from Davis. Lashoff pinching in. His backhander blocked by Heller. Richards to Davis, the one-timer, and he fanned on it, had an empty net to shoot at. Shannon shoot in off of the leg of Vlasic. Green battles with Matt Lashoff. And the whistle sounds.
We see some of that more of that emotions coming out again in this hockey team. Both these two teams have really been into a real dogfight with each other out there. So a lot of intensity on that ice between both these clubs. You can see it happening out there. Vlasic is not one that's will back off from things. Lashoff involved. You might see some penalties coming out of this situation here. Ryan Carroll trying to tell them to get themselves out of the way here, stay out of it. We'll see what transpires from there. But
well, Simona Town scores a couple of games. Barrie leads Ottawa, looking to tie that series at 2 games apiece, and Brampton looking to stay alive. They lead Sudbury 3-0.
you know, sometimes they say you got to be lucky to be good or good to be lucky. And I'll tell you, there's been a couple of situations that District's had tonight. The one with Richards, the one with Davis, the one with Benoit. That one of these times those pucks are going to the net most nights, but he's getting a few breaks in some situations.
Peter DeBoer still very vocal on the Kitchener Rangers bench, making sure his team doesn't let up at all against this Erie Otters squad. Justin Azevedo kicked out of that face-off circle. You notice it's on the far side of the ice when he draws it to his backhand. Ryan Lee does not keep it in at the blue line on second thought, says the linesman.
Well, Justin Azevedo, a lot of confidence being shown by Peter DeBoer in this young man, just turning 17 today. He's been into every situation, penalty kill situation, taking the big draws, power play situations, and he has responded and been there in every one of them.
Well, the Otters now on the power play. Keefe and O'Connor giving each other a jab or two on the far side of the ice. They'll separate as the Otters look to lug the puck up the ice. This is Ryan O'Mara, the Mississauga, Ontario native. 10 points in 9 playoff games last year, and he has 4 points coming into game number 5 of this series. Michael Blunden on the ice. We got our ISO camera on him as he drives to the front of the net, looking for the pass from O'Connor. Doesn't get it. O'Connor, the second effort, walks out front looking for Blunden again. And now Blunden will park himself out in front of Eric Flagler. Peter Sidorkovich saying even with Flagler, more important than maybe Turple to get traffic in front of him because you can screen the little guy. Adam Keefe showing some good muscle, clears it into the Erie's players bench.
Well, you see Michael Blunden, he's the guy that they've got to get him going in this series. They got to get him doing what he can do to put the puck in net. He's one of their elite players. He's one of the players that shows the leadership for this club. He's got some good strength along the boards. He knows how to fight for the puck in those situations. You can see how well he works the boards and works the puck. He's a superb player, one of their better ones. He's just been a steady player all year long for them, and that's the guy they want to see do well.
Tomas Galasek with Herring and Derek Bagshaw. That's a new unit by head coach Dave McQueen of the Erie Otters. Galasek usually out with Blunden and O'Mara. There's Hotham up to center ice. Jean-Michel Risk will slide it in. Michael Richards giving chase as Richards gets double shifted. Henderson looking to find the puck. He does. He comes up with it. Now Hotham will pin him against the end boards. Richards leaves it for Andre Benoit. Benoit circling around. He shoots, and he does not miss by very much. Richards at the blue line has to be careful. Just does keep it in. Henderson driving towards a goal. Now at the back of the net. Henderson walks out, takes a shot. The puck is there. Richards finds it. He scores! It's the Michael Richards show. Giddy up.
Well, you got to know, Roger, he showed them in Game 3 what it takes to win. Now the rest of this team is stepping up, but he's the leader on this team. He's did a Mark Messier performance in Game 3, and he continues to show what it takes to win a hockey game. And this guy really wants this team to win badly, and he is not going to be denied tonight, Roger, by the way he's playing.
And would you like fries with that, Michael Richards? My voice is crackling tonight. The flu going through the dressing room and the press box here of Rogers Television. It's Moose Winooski's Fan in the Stands. Here's Kelly.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Justin. Justin plays for the Kitchener Junior Rangers, and he's my favorite position. what position do you play?
Goalie.
And what are you getting new that's so cool?
A goalie mask with a devil on it.
You're getting that painted on?
Yes.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite Ranger player?
David Clarkson.
And who's your second? You told me Turple, the goalie.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anyone you want to say hi to?
My mom.
Say hi, Mom.
Hi, and my sister.
And your sister. You're a very nice brother. Okay, we're going to go back upstairs to Roger and Lance. Thanks, Justin.
All right, thank you, Kelly. And Lance, some interesting things going on. Matt Lashoff was in the penalty box, and now he returns to the Rangers players bench, so it looked like a misconduct was called, but maybe Lashoff went to the penalty box with a guilty conscience.
It might have been coincidental minors or double minors in some situations.
Here's McGrath, and he scores! The wrath of McGrath is felt at the Dom Cardillo. And it's a 4-1 Rangers lead.
Well, Evan McGrath, he's been the player all year. He stepped up early in the year when Michael Richards was gone and helped this team and led this team, and he continues to do what has to be done to keep this team rolling and keeping them up strong up the middle, making some great plays. Because you got to wonder if that defense of the Erie Otters is starting to wear themselves down after 4 solid games of 3 overtime periods and some big tough hockey out there that just seem to be getting more and more chances for the Kitchen Rangers, and they're starting to go into the net.
McGrath from Davis. 2 goals in 32 seconds for the Kitchener Rangers. It's now a 4-1 hockey game. 24-12 Kitchener out shooting the Erie Otters. There's a shot by Loikitz. Seldom used defenseman for the Erie Otters. Loikitz is, as Brian Lee and Merlini get a ton of action. Andrew Hotham, another one of the big ice time grabbers, and it looks like an icing call against Kitchener.
Well, Josh, just seen 24 shots already in this game. Big Duco out there throwing the body around, playing some physical hockey out there. Definitely able to roll 4 lines right now for Peter DeBoer is a big asset he has, and the fact he's been able to roll at least 3 sets of defensemen throughout this whole series. This could be the big factor in this long series that they're looking at right now.
Chris Green on the faceoff. Richards wins it to his backhand side. Teams jostle for the puck. Richards thought he had it, but he didn't. There's a shot, and Flagler comes up with a nice stop in net for Kitchener.
Well, one thing the Erie Otters are doing tonight, which they've been looking at, not been doing much in the last few games, is they've been playing with a little more discipline. They haven't been taking the penalties that they were taking in the first 4 games, and like Peter Sturkowitz says, that had to stop, and so far you can see that the Erie Otters have been doing that, and you can see some offense coming from him now. But Flagler, he just seems to keep coming up big. He's been playing a super job out there, coming in cold like he did.
He's an entertaining goalie to watch, that Flagler, a little guy, but he'll come out and challenge the shooters, so you still don't have any net to shoot at. And he likes to handle the puck also. Very active out of the goal. Here's Jean-Michel Risk for the Rangers. He'll fire it into the Erie zone. In behind the play, Brett McLean a little slow getting up, but he will rejoin the action. Here he is on the puck, almost coughs it up to Azevedo. Puck is swatted ahead, and Disher will leave it for Merlini, who is getting some jeers from the crowd. The fans, I think, just happy that their team has actually been able to beat them a few times.
Well, you can't fault Disher for anything that's been happening in this hockey game. That's been one heck of a game so far for him.
Galasek, a shot, a rebound, Herring is there, and Flagler makes another fine stop in the Kitchener goal. Now Matt Pepe kicking at the puck. Clarkson gives him some assistance. Hotham moves it forward, and the Rangers will just chip it out of their zone. Otters are onside. Labek stops his man, takes a bit of a shot from Andrew Hotham, and the whistle sounds.
Well, you see the things you got to do out there. You can see that Valabek has been looking with some discipline, not retaliating in situations that can draw penalties or draw attention to himself. Doing a good job out there. He just has to keep playing the game he's been playing. Good and simple hockey out there, doing his job, keeping his head in the game, being smart out there, making smart plays, and he's been doing that quite a bit in the last part of the season and into the playoffs. You got to give a lot of credit to Steve Spott, the coach. He's been working with them quite hard to keep him focused on his hockey game.
Wayback just 14 penalty minutes through 4 games of this hockey series. Sounds like a lot, but pretty good when his season average was nearly 5.5 minutes. There's Fraser shooting it in for the Kitchener Rangers. Now Benoit is forced back to center ice. 43 games played. Wayback had 231 penalty minutes. If he would have played an entire season, that would have been 365, and that would have put him first overall in the OHL. The fans start cheering, "Let's go Rangers." Unlike game number 1 of this series, the crowd is in it. Erie took the Rangers and the crowd out of it in game number 1 and game number 3. Lee puts it around the boards. Kitchener came out gangbusters game number 3, but the Otters kept it scoreless, and then 10-16 in, they scored on a bit of a fluky goal. Now the Kitchener Rangers, David Clarkson, you get the sense the Rangers are going for that 5th goal, not sitting back. The defenseman pinching in. Here is Lashoff, slides it into the corner. Clarkson now trying to walk out front. Clarkson takes a shot. He beat Disher. That one looked like it went off the goal post.
No, he got it in the pad area.
Did he? Okay.
Rogers, great save again by Disher. Doing a good job here. You can see the pinching now right now by the Kitchener Rangers defense. First Benoit coming in and pinching and doing what they've been doing all year. This is the bread and butter of the Rangers, the way they can cycle the puck and work the boards. Now you'll see Fraser coming down and pinching in and keeping the puck in deep. That's what they've been doing all year. That's one of the game plans that they have, is to keep that puck deep, cycle the puck. You can see Clark's coming on front here now, getting his opportunity off of the cycle. And a great save by Disher again.
Disher is forced to make another save off of that face-off. Now a mini break. Vince Scott and Lashoff, one of the better skaters in the OHL, gets back in time. Delayed offside against the Erie Otters. As we approach the 9-minute mark of the second period, 4-1. The Kitchener Rangers lead the Erie Otters. Davis, Clarkson, Richards, and McGrath the goal scorers. Spite takes a shot as Dave McQueen starts to use more of his bench. Jason Spite, the Curtis, Ontario native, on the puck. 2nd year with the team. Not a big point producer. That is what the Otters need right now. A couple of goals to get back into this hockey game. Sean O'Connor, the lone goal scorer for the Erie Otters. Patrick Davis opened the scoring. 7:29 into the first period, unassisted 4-on-4. Beautiful shot, top corner, beating Josh Disher, blocker side. Here comes Jeff Platt looking for his first of the series, won't get it. The Otters forced back into their own zone. Chad Loikitz, the Yorkville, Illinois boy, 17 years of age, up for Andrew Shannon. He and David Clarkson had some words before the start of the hockey game. Applebaum gives a stiff hit to Heller, who initially initiated the contact. O'Connor across the Ranger blue line. Pass in behind the intended target, Platt. Best skater, maybe a little too speedy on that play. Benoit shoots it in as the Kitchener Rangers make a wholesale line change. Well, if Sault Ste. Marie can defeat the Windsor Spitfires in a series they lead 3-1, the winner of this series, as the Rangers come close again, will have the daunting task of facing the London Knights, who are sitting at home resting up. Dale Hunter supposedly in the crowd here tonight, scouting this series the rest of the way. Matt Lashoff, this time leading the rush with his great speed. Azevedo off the sideboards, comes up with the puck, can't get a shot away. And the Otters, David Herring, will turn it the other way. Not a ton of scouts here tonight, but there are a few, including the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, John Ferguson Jr., just about 15 feet away from our broadcast location. Here's big Boris Wayback. Maybe Ferguson Jr. is thinking, maybe with the late round pick, since I don't have any early round picks, I could get a Mike Ducko for my Maple Leafs.
Maybe he's looking for replacement players.
Andre Benoit.
Who knows?
Well, no need to replace this young lady. Kelly Wamsley doing a fine job with our Moose Winooski's fan in the stands.
You want to tell everybody where you're from?
Yeah, from Australia.
She got right off the plane and came to her first hockey game. How do you find it so far?
It's amazing and very rough.
Very loud down here too.
Yeah, they take it serious.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to go back upstairs to Roger Lance. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you, Kelly. Here is Craig Vokes. Maybe we would need a replacement for Kelly. She goes all diva on us and asks for a big pay raise. You never know. Here's Craig Vokes. Getting away from a check. Vokes, a couple of assists in the series. Not a bad thing, though, when the coach puts you on a line with Michael Richards. There's Michael Blunden. And the Otters offside.
One thing you got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff for the Kitchener Rangers, the fact that they've been rolling the 3 lines, the 3 sets of defensemen, the 4 lines rolling out there. You can see the Lashoff has lots of legs to get back here to make the play on the streaking player for the Erie Otters, trying to break it on a breakaway. Lashoff showing his speed and his ability to get back. But a lot of parts of this game going on right now is that going with the short bench like they have, the Erie Otters, it might be making a difference in this hockey game.
Wayback coughs it up. Galasek called on the offside. It was very close.
Well, here's Ryan O'Meara. Like we said, he had 9 goals and 9 points in 10 games last year in the playoffs, or 10 points in 9 games last year in the playoffs, and this year so far not producing like they would have thought he would be doing. He was one of their strongest players coming down the stretch at the end of the year.
Well, both teams' power plays have been very ineffective this series, but in tonight's hockey game hasn't really been a factor because for the most part they played hockey and the referee has let them play also. It's been a lot of 5-on-5 as Blunden shows that he's a physical force, not taking a back step to Boris Wayback.
And again, the one thing you're looking at here that I really am impressed with is the discipline of that Boris Wayback. Earlier in the year, this season, you'd see him get up under this situation. He'd be throwing punches or taking a penalty or doing something in those situations like that. And right now, he's being a smart hockey player. He's not getting his team into trouble with different situations. He's taking it and being a very, very disciplined player. That's what you got to have if you want to win in the playoffs.
One of the assistant trainers, I guess, ready for action. The rubber gloves are on. Andre Benoit, seasoned veteran, the grizzled beard Benoit is wearing, and we have a bit of a delay here.
We're fixing that glass again.
Another panic glass.
We're fixing that glass again. So got a little bit of a break here. Give a little bit of rest for some of the weary Warriors, for the Erie Otters that have been out there playing a lot of ice time again tonight, and also the last four games.
Well, here's a look at the Eastern Conference of the playoff picture. Peterborough Petes, they have already taken care of the Belleville Bulls, winning that series 4-1. Barrie and Ottawa, they're in action tonight. Barrie looking to tie that series. Brampton was leading Sudbury 3-0 in the second period, looking to stay alive and pull within 1. And how about the Majors leading the Ice Dogs 3-1?
Well, Greg Gilbert came out into the papers and he kind of had a tongue lashing for some of his players to say that you guys are going to have to get better out there. You're going to have to want to pay the price to win. Obviously, the Toronto St. Mikes have been going out there and doing the job that has to be done. But you got to remember, Bud Stefanski took this team at the beginning of the year and he just kept getting better and better. And then they had that great, amazing, strong finish. And the Donati twins coming over. What do you got now?
And in the Western Conference, the London Knights are loving this. They would just love the Erie Otters and Rangers to go to 7 games. They're just licking their chops, getting nice and healthy. But game 1, maybe that could be a bit of a factor. Could they be a little rusty? Whoever comes out of this series, if they don't take a sigh of relief that they got through this series, they should be flying on all cylinders.
Well, I saw the game in Guelph, and London finished them off in 4 straight, the 4th game, and I got to give the Guelph Storm a lot of credit with 9 or 10 first-year players in that lineup. That was one gutsy effort. They just about took them in game 1 and made a game of them in game 2. Game 3, a bit of a blowout, and they were still fighting and scrapping right to the bitter end of the game that I saw there that night. So all my hats off to that Guelph Storm team and everybody that's been associated with it.
Blunden takes a shot. That one deflects off a stick into the stands. even the blowout in game number 3, it was close until the later part of the third period. So yeah, the Guelph Storm certainly credit for a strong effort despite being swept.
The one thing about the Guelph Storm is that they may have been playing against, if they go on to win the Memorial Cup, one of the greatest teams that they've ever seen in junior hockey.
But can one of these two teams upset London in round number 2? Matt Pepe up the boards, and Evan McGrath will chase after it. He dives for it. Jacob Heller gets to it first and gets it to his teammate Ryan O'Mara. Keefe had him lined up. O'Mara got away from part of the hit, but O'Mara is a tough cookie. Vlahovic upended. He's feeling maybe a penalty should have been called on Blunden. Well, Blunden trying to make his presence felt, going after the biggest player on the ice. Here's Blunden now walking out front, takes a shot, just puts it wide of the goal. London coming close to pulling his team within 2 goals.
You're going to see a slashing penalty coming up on Vlahovic here, and it seemed to be a bit of a strategy here the Erie Otters are doing. They know that Vlahovic has that tendency to take these situations and not be able to stay with the course on it. And of course, they took him out on a one play coming into the zone there. Another big play, big hit there. Before that, he came to the front of the net and he threw here's a big hit by Keefe, but he threw the big slash. And that was going to be a 5-on-4 here. And you can see Vlahovic, and that was when he got the feet taken out from him when he made the play on that one. He takes the slashing penalty, but obviously Erie's trying to get something going, trying to get it up a power play, and they got it.
Well, they have just 1 goal in 3 games here in Kitchener on the power play. 1 for 16 in the Dom Cardillo coming into tonight. Ryan Donnelly and Azevedo looking to kill it off. Andrew Shannon is up front with Herring, and looks like Vince Scott may be out here on the power play. I'll get another closer look as Donnelly loses his bucket. Here is Shannon with it, and that's Chris Green, pardon me, not Scott. No Jeff Platt, though. That is interesting. I'm sure he'll be out on the second unit as Hotham takes a shot. That one is blocked by Henderson.
You can see right now being able to give Richards a rest on this power play, or penalty kill, he put him out now, but he had a chance against a little bit of a breather. Peter DeBoer working his bench real well right now, Roger.
Merlini shoots one in. Herring comes up with it. He is forced to the back of the goal, puts on the brakes. Green gives him a little bit of help, and now Jeff Platt is out on the ice, manning the right point. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Vlahovic. Henderson aggressive on the forecheck, almost forced Disher to cough it up. Herring, nifty little move, takes a shot from a bad angle. The puck is there. Lee with it, puts it to the side of the goal. Herring out front, Flagler with the poke check. And don't count the Erie Otters out of this hockey game just yet. Benoit raises a puck and lifts it 200 feet down the ice.
Well, that Erie Otters is one team, though, that they can come back. They've got some big time goal scorers in O'Mara and Platt. If they start to get the pucks in the net, it could make a big difference.
Herring with a similar move he has used earlier this season in overtime. We'll take a look at that before. This time, though, Flagler comes up with the save. Andre Benoit looking to chip it past Brian Lee, can't do it. Now it is O'Connor putting it out front. Platt shoots, and Flagler comes up with his biggest save of the game, and someone's getting the gears in the Rangers crease. Adam Keefe throwing O'Connor to the ice.
Well, you can see that they're trying to get to the net. They're trying to cause some traffic for Flagler. Like Peter Sidorkowicz said, they got to make this guy have to pay a few times in front of that net. And Blunden doing the job, banging and crashing and going in on top of Flagler there. And you're going to see lots of action like that, because that's what Erie has to do to start to get themselves back into this hockey game. You see Blunden banging and crashing there. He gets a little bit of a bump, but he ends up on top of Flagler, and they're going to come to his rescue. But you can see the Erie Otters are starting to pick their game up a bit. They know that they're going to have to play with some desperation here, and you can see them trying to get to Flagler, trying to get some traffic in front of him.
Eyes of determination. Matt Lashoff on the Kitchener Rangers bench. The Rangers down 2-0. Can they come back and win this series? They're in a good position right now, leading 4-1 with 4:40 to go in period number 2. These two teams right back at it tomorrow night, though, in Erie.
Well, Andre Benoit, he's been a solid first star performer for this team in this game again tonight.
Well, if there is a Game 7, it'll be here Monday night. We'll have it live. That shot deflects wide of the Kitchener net. And now the Rangers back to full strength. Vlahovic will stay on the ice. Puck is there, back to the blue line. Merlini takes a shot. It is blocked. Merlini again shoots. And Flagler makes the save as the Rangers were a little disorganized with 3 defensemen on the ice.
Well, you can see Merlini, he's the guy that has to make some things go too in that D, getting a big-time shot, but now the Rangers are the ones that are setting themselves up, blocking shots, helping the goaltender out. Sometimes you put a guy in, and he's a backup goaltender. He's not really a backup. Flagler's been a first starter in a lot of situations down in Bowling Green and USHL, but you can see that they're working hard to keep things so you can see the puck in all those shots.
Lashoff works it up to center ice. Patrick Davis will slide it in. 28-19 the shots on goal. Kitchener with the advantage. But Erie Otters have been turning it on here in the second half of this frame. Herring loses his footing. Flagler coolly leaves it for Patrick Davis, who coolly weaves around, and Flagler gives a little shot to the face of Chris Green, who is in his crease. Well, Mark Packwood is the backup tonight, the underager. And Chris Green trying to draw a penalty out of the Rangers.
Well, you can see Chris Green was much more of a frustration factor here. They're trying to get something going with this hockey club. They've been having the last 2 games haven't been going their way, and they're not able to now beat Flagler. They're trying to find some ways to get things going, get something happening. You can see a little bit of the frustration level happening with Chris Green. He's been working hard in this series so far. We'll see how that pans out as this game progresses.
Here's the numbers for the backup goalie tonight. A win and a loss in the regular season. Well, there's Jeff Platt. His team needs him to score.
20 goals in the power play over the season. He hasn't had a puck on the net in the power play so far in this season, in this series.
Second only to Corey Perry in goals scored. Perry with 47, Platt with 45, and there is Flagler getting out the glove.
Well, you know, talking to Peter DeBoer, he said that they had no problem with getting him in the net and doing the job that they can do. They know he's been a first-time performer, first lead performer for many teams over the past, and doing a great job here, showing what he can do. He's one solid performer for the Kitchener Rangers, coming in relief of Turple and doing what has been asked of him, and what a character player so far that he's showing.
Turple watching the game from up top here, 2 seats down from John Ferguson Jr. Richards takes a shot. A rebound is there, and maybe John Ferguson Jr. is getting a taste of what his Maple Leafs could be facing in a few years' time as Merlini takes a shot. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Maple Leafs seeming to meet a lot in the playoffs, and it could be Michael Richards facing his Maple Leafs in the not-too-distant future.
One thing you're seeing right now is it was one thing that they do really well, Erie, is they generate that speed to that neutral zone, and that's been something they're going to have to work with and get themselves going there.
Connor shot, a weak one, deflects into the corner, and now David Clarkson comes up with the puck. He'll lug it up to center ice on his own, flips it into the Erie zone, and Jeff Platt with a bit of a low hit on Clarkson, and he went to have words with Platt. Now shakes his head as he goes to the Kitchener bench. Platt will go to the bench also. O'Mara, Blunden, and well, Galasek on the ice up front. Loikitz puts it towards the goal. The Otters pressing, and Blunden unable to get a shot away.
Fraser doing a great job on the D there, Roger, doing a super job tying the guys up. He has been just a steady performer. He's one of those defensemen that you love to have on your hockey club, who just does it. Everything's so simple. He makes it look so easy out there, stands his man up, clears the front of the net, does everything he needs to do. And you can see that Flagler right here is the story of the second half right now. He has been coming up huge for the Kitchener Rangers in the last half of this period.
He has been beaten on just 1 of 21 shots. His save percentage coming into tonight, .960 in the playoffs. This is his second straight start, and he did come in relief in game number 3 for Turple after he hurt himself.
Yeah, and that's one thing we've been watching tonight. We're watching him doing a great job so far.
Well, game 7, if necessary, we will have it live, 7 o'clock Monday, April 4th. And then we'll have every game if Kitchener wins this series versus the London Knights, and if Sault Ste. Marie handles the Windsor Spitfires. But you never know what could happen. Kitchener down 2 goals in Erie on the weekend, or I should say Wednesday night, under 4 minutes to go. Tie it up and win it in overtime. Nothing saying the Otters couldn't come back in this hockey game either.
That's junior hockey, Roger. You just never know what's going to happen any given night.
Donnelly puts a hold on Tomas Galasek. Galasek, a team worse, -2 in this playoff series.
Yeah, that's one player too. They'd like to see him do a bit stronger on the offensive side. He is one of those defensive players that they look to. He's a good, strong defensive guy. When it comes to third-year player, he's very good with his work ethic out there, and that's one thing that he's been doing. But you got to wonder if they're starting a little bit tired in this situation, coming back after 3 playoff rounds. Right now, a little bit of that fatigue is starting to show.
Well, this is game number 5 of the series. Flagler makes a stop, almost put it in his own goal. A harmless centering pass got jostled in between his skates.
He is an adventure back there in that net, but he's very, very effective. He makes those saves, and he makes them. Sometimes the puck where he is or what he's doing, but he's always in front of the puck. He'll do whatever it takes to stop the puck. He's a very entertaining goaltender to watch. The results speak for themselves.
Well, his record in the regular season, 9-5-2, a 3.31 goals against average, but he has been excellent here in the postseason. Well, Peter Sidorkovich, he played in the NHL, assistant coach with the Erie Otters, telling us before the game he feels there's no pressure at all on Eric Flagler. Turple, he was the goalie the Rangers traded for. Lots of pressure on him as Richards almost steals a puck and gets an opportunity. Flagler can come in if he lets in 8 goals. Well, you're the backup. You're supposed to let the goals in anyway, so that's what he thinks anyways. Flagler, though, I would say a little bit of pressure on him now to maintain this lead. Vokes with the puck after Flagler makes another stop. Under a minute to go in period number 2. Michael Richards on the puck. Benoit joining him on the rush. Richards gets the elbow up on Green, then takes a couple of slashes in return. Richards back to Benoit, his shot, and that one is blocked by Richard, and he says, oh man, I wouldn't have passed it to you if you were going to do that. Herring on the puck, takes a hard hit from Duco, who took a healthy little run at him. Flagler looking to clear, and that shot, if it wasn't blocked, may have found the net. Flagler trips in his goal. There's a shot. Flagler back into position. Heller walking in, puts it out front. Flagler is down. Yes, it is an adventure with the Flagler in the net for the Rangers. And that is it for period number 2. The Rangers with 2 unanswered goals. Richards 431, McGrath 503.
Well, you can see the Erie Otters are trying to get some stuff going, get in the net, get some stuff in front of Flagler so that they can get him off his game. But the Kitchener Rangers have been answering to the task, and what a great period of hockey for the Kitchener Rangers here in the second period, putting a few pucks in the net. Some great goaltending from Eric Flagler, and some action from the Erie Otters here trying to put the puck in the net. You can see Flagler making the saves. Erie right now looks like a tired hockey club. Have to see if they can maintain that high energy coming into the third period. They're going to need to regroup in that third period and come back strong.
Well, for the most part, Boris Flagler has been very disciplined in this series, and he will join Dave McLelland in our second intermission. After 2 periods of play, the Rangers lead the Erie Otters 4-1.
Welcome back to Canada Business Solutions OHL Prime Time. My second intermission player guest from the Kitchener Rangers, number 28, Boris Flagler. Boris, it's been a tough series all along.
Well, we didn't expect it to be easy. We talked about earlier, there's a 4th and 5th best team in OHL playing. So we didn't expect it to be easy, but we feel pretty confident about our chances to win the series.
In those first 2 periods tonight, it looked as though it was a lot of rough play out there.
Well, they try to hit as many guys as possible, just like we do, and they have a pretty physical team, and I think we have a pretty physical team as well. So that was expected.
I'm sure it was a concern when Dan Turple went down last Friday night, but Eric Flagler has come in and filled in admirably well.
Definitely, he stepped up big time, and that's exactly what we needed.
That's why you have more than one goaltender, obviously.
Exactly.
Now, from a defenseman's point of view, does Eric play the puck differently than Dan? Like, do you have to do anything different as out on the D?
Eric plays the puck more behind the net. Dan didn't go as much behind the net, but both goaltenders have their own style. As you see, Dan was a little bit bigger in the net. He didn't have to move as much, and Eric is very flexible in the net, and he plays the puck more. So.
Yeah. Do you think that Eric comes out of the net more than Dan does as a result of being smaller?
I think so.
Yeah. So he's got to do that to cut the angles and keep the high shots off.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though. You feel for a person like Eric because coming off the bench, even though you say everyone's got to be ready all the time, it's tough when you come in like that.
I just thought about it today, and you're right. It had to be hard, but as I said, he stepped up big time for us.
He sure has. He may be a little guy compared to Dan Turfel, but he's playing with a big heart.
Exactly.
Well, the Rangers, for the first time, I shouldn't say for the first time, after losing the first game, now have the home ice advantage back again, and you're up 4-1 after 2. I know there's 20 minutes to go yet, but it's possible you could be in the lead of the series for the first time in Game 5.
Home advantage, that's exactly what we battled last 10 games in the regular season, so we just wanted to take it back from them, and that's exactly what we did, and now we have the home ice advantage, and as you said, we're winning, so we just have to keep going, and we'll see what will happen.
Well, hopefully in the third period you guys can get a couple more and really put this one away, and then of course it's off to Erie tomorrow night.
Exactly. We're going to try our best tomorrow, but as I said, this game's not over yet, so we have to keep going.
Well, thanks very much, Boris, for being with us and sharing your thoughts. Good luck to you and the Rangers here in the third.
No problem, thanks.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back with Roger and Lance and much more OHL Prime Time.
Well, the Kitchener Rangers lead after 2 periods. They don't have to fight back from behind to get the victory like they have in the last 2 games. Can they hold on, or will the Erie Otters battle back? Well, Eric Flagler has been a bit of a story in tonight's game. Wouldn't have been unheard of if you would have said before the playoffs that he wouldn't have seen a minute because it was Dan Turpel's ship to take. But Turpel is now sitting up here with us. He is injured, and Flagler has shown that he's a quality netminder.
Oh, he's been a character player in this whole series. He is going to be the story of this series. Josh Disher was the story in the first 2 games and continues to make the big saves and continues to work hard for the Erie Otters. But Flagler coming in cold, very difficult task to be able to come in and do that, and he's done it so far in this series.
Well, in this same play here, you were mentioning, Lance, that David Clarkson does a good job.
Well, David Clarkson's keeping Shannon to the outside. He's trying to get to the net there. He sees Clarkson. Clarkson, he ain't going to try to go by him. He ain't going to try to go through him because he knows he's going to have to pay, because that's what they have to do is keep stuff clear for Flagler to see the shots, and that's what those guys are doing right now to help him out. They're really playing well in front of him to make sure that he can get his job done.
And the Rangers tonight, you see Boris Valabic joining Dave McLelland. Seems like, not that they weren't in the first 4 games, but defense, they seem to be cool, calm, and composed in their own zone.
They really are. You can see the confidence in them starting to build up. You can see them knowing where their assignments are. They're picking their men up right now, and they really are playing a solid D back there. And Steve Spott's done a great job with Boris Valabic. I got to give him a lot of credit. He's been playing with a lot of smarts out there, being able to back off in a lot of situations. Good job by him.
And they are trying to crash the net, the Erie Otters. They want to, more than ever, get traffic in front of Flagler, and the Kitchener Rangers doing the exact same thing.
Oh, they're just battling hard. They got some really good stuff here with their puck handling, and you see Richards, what he does every night for this club as he goes out and he makes sure that he's going to win this hockey game if he has to do it single-handedly.
And Evan McGrath also 2 big goals in game number 4 to get the victory, to send it to overtime for Clarkson, and here tonight another big one.
I'll tell you, the Detroit Red Wings have to be really happy with what they have right there. Getting him in the 4th round is probably the biggest draft so far from the last draft they ever had, the National Hockey League.
Yeah. It's time now for some more hockey headlines. Let's talk about the NHL net gains. There's talking of, why don't you just make the nets bigger if you want more goals? I'll give you my opinion first, Lance. There's a game called soccer. There's not a lot of goals, and they have big nets in it. All it does is encourage coaches to devise even better defensive strategies because they don't want anyone getting near the net. The net's so big, they'll have a chance to score.
You know, Roger, every time they get together around a table in the National Hockey League to talk about rules, it's big news, big stuff they're going to talk about. Hockey's alive and doing well, fellas. I'm telling you right now, they have great hockey down here in the junior. They had great hockey over in Europe. They have great hockey being played in the American League and the IHL. The only place they have a problem with the rules in hockey is in the National Hockey League. So they can sit around their tables all they want because they're not playing anywhere, and we'll keep watching great hockey down here in the OHL.
Here's a look at Michael Richards' breakaway, and
the thing is, you see Richards here breaking through, but you see the fact is that their goaltenders have had a lot of blockage out there for these goals, but these guys are putting pucks in it. These aren't like nothing hockey games. You've got 4-1 games, 4-3 games. These young hockey players here know how to get the puck in the net if they have to. They'll drive the net, they'll do what they got to do. If the National Hockey League players want to put pucks in the net, work harder like these kids are doing out here.
well, you got your ire up earlier this week. A Toronto columnist who covers the NHL went to an OHL game and started criticizing it, feeling there was a lot of diving, which diving isn't needed in hockey, but then maybe kind of went on to say that the quality of hockey in the OHL is subpar.
Well, I don't understand why you have to come down here, watch a couple of games. You're out there writing about the National Hockey League and how bad that league's been for the last 10 years. Leave these kids alone. There's been great hockey across this country for the whole year, a gold medal game in the World Junior, and Damian Cox wants to come down and write about a bad game that he thinks he saw. And then everybody reads that. They all think that junior hockey is not being played at the highest level. I got news for him. He's only seen that one game, and these guys are out there playing with a lot of heart and passion. They're out there giving it all each and every night across this country in junior hockey. So, Damian, leave him alone and go back to writing about the National Hockey League.
All right, we'll have to get you on one of those panels. You can square off with each other. They love getting the newspaper guys squaring off because they follow the hockey game. Well, hockey alive and well, as you mentioned it, in the OHL. Well, the senior hockey loop. Scott Dickey, the former netminder here in Kitchener, gets a shutout. The Elmer Blues win the OHL senior, or this Ontario Senior Championship. They'll go to play Thunder Bay. If they win that, then it's off to the Allen Cup.
What a great team. I watched a lot of their hockey games that they played in that league, in that major hockey league. There was some great hockey there, Roger. Across the board, they played some great hockey. The Dundas Real McCoys, great job they did against the Elmer. Scott Dickey in net played great on the shutout to win the division title there for the senior AAA. Kudos to them all for some great hockey.
And if Elmer does win the 6-team Allen Cup, the winner gets a berth in the Nagano Cup in Japan, and the Elmer coach, or the Elmer owner, has already said that his team will go to Japan to play in that tournament. Well, Craig Vokes has a couple assists in this series, and he joined Dave McLelland for this special feature of Inside the O.
My draft year, I got drafted by Sudbury Wolves, second round. We didn't really have anything up front. So I was getting a regular shift, unlike some of the rookies here, maybe underage guys, and I got a lot of ice time. It was great.
So you've just completed a great year, first year, rookie year in Sudbury. You figure you're there for 3 more years, and then what happened?
Oh, after I think maybe 10, 15 games into my second year, I remember it like it was yesterday. We were at a team movie night. I come home and my billet tells me the coach called, and I was like, okay, why would the coach call me or whatever? Like, the coaches never call the players or whatever. So I call him back, and I kind of had a feeling that this was that's what he was talking about.
Something was in the wind.
Yeah. When I was told it was Kitchener, I thought that's going to be a big change there, because I know they're a total different team. I've just known over the years, and especially a couple years ago, they won the Memorial Cup, and I knew it was going to be a big change. The fans are great. I mean, it's a lot different than it was in Sudbury. There's a couple more thousand than there was. I mean, that's a lot of people. A couple more thousand than there was in Sudbury. They seem extremely loud. I mean, I don't know if they are, but it seems that.
Craig Vokes walking in. What a move!
I mean, in addition to playing up front, Pete often uses you on the point and the power play. Do you enjoy that?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love getting the puck there. Just I like actually when we break out, I like carrying the puck in as opposed to the D rimming it around. Because I remember when I played forward I always hated when the D kind of shoot it in like that, when they could have skate it, and so I like to do that to help out the guys.
He scores! Craig Vokes, his second point tonight.
How important is it to have good billets?
I've actually been really lucky in my OHL career having a few great billets. I mean, especially this year, they're like, it's awesome. There's 2 little kids there and big dog, and it feels just like home or whatever with the dog and everything. So it's great.
So you're a dog lover, are you?
Yeah.
What kind of a dog do you have?
Back home, it's a Shih Tzu, and at my billet's house, it's a Rottweiler. So
a little different in stature, eh?
A bit different of a dog.
Thanks for being with us, Craig, and we wish you and the Rangers all the best in the upcoming series.
Thank you.
Well, the Kitchener Rangers looking like a bunch of Rottweilers on this night. After 2 periods of play, they lead the Erie Otters 4-1. Well, the Erie Otters outshot the Kitchener Rangers 16-9 in the second period, but it was the Rangers with a goal at 4:31 by Michael Richards, and then 5:03, Evan McGrath.
Well, it's obvious that they're trying to get these quick shots on Disher because he's so fast to come across and make the save. But when you're going to beat him down low and in close, if you get a quick release shot off or a deflection like this from McGrath, and those are the only times that they've been able to get past him, and they're starting to really figure out what they have to do to beat Disher.
Eric Flagler, is he becoming the story in the second half of this season? It was all Josh Disher in the first part of it. Here is Matt Lashoff. His takes a shot. It goes wide of the goal. The Rangers would love to get an early goal here and put the Otters out of it.
What you're going to be thinking about right now, you've got the momentum. You've got the good confidence going for your hockey club. This is no time to sit back and be nice. You're going to have to come and you're going to have to go for and bury it and start to put the puck in it and really make these guys have to back up because next game they're going to be, if you don't want to let them get any kind of momentum whatsoever in this third period.
Jean-Michel Risk will slide it into the Erie zone. Kevin Henderson helps him out. Now Risk comes up with it, spins away from a check. He loses his defenseman Hotham, but then he runs into the other one, Jacob Heller. Had a bit of an opportunity, but unable to capitalize. Now Henderson gets an opening, puts it out front. 2 Rangers there. Neither Risk or Azevedo could get their sticks on it. Henderson shot, Azevedo backhand there. Disher dives back into position and comes up with a stellar stop. Now Kitchener has come out flying in this third period, not sitting back. Tomas Galasek of the Otters hands it off, and that'll be an offside. Michael Blunden in ahead of the play.
Again, you see the good puck control from the Kitchener Rangers. They do a lot of work with this cycling and puck control. And again, another great opportunity. Justin Azevedo, this young talent, first year in this league, first year in the playoffs, just continues to play with such authority out there. He is playing a big man's game, Justin Azevedo.
Now it's Michael Richards, Clarkson, and our featured guest, Craig Vokes. Benoit on the blue line with Fraser. Eric Flagler has stopped 25 of 26 shots he has faced. Josh Disher, 25 of 29. And for one time in a period, the Rangers get outshot, yet outscore the Erie Otters. That has not happened in this series. There's Andre Benoit, plays it across for Mark Fraser. He slides it up to center ice, and Shannon will slap it in for the Otters. Here's Shannon. His shot is blocked, and here come the Rangers. Craig Vokes with the puck. Vokes on his off wing, passes it across, and Clarkson is unable to catch up with it. Icing is indicated, and it will be called.
Well, the Erie Otters have got to get themselves some offense going here. They got to get some puck possession. They got to get Jeff Platt into gear and Ryan O'Meara into gear in this game because they really are slipping away and letting the momentum go the Rangers' way here. So we got to see if they can pick it up a little bit. Their third liners can't continue to carry this hockey club.
That is right. Jeff Platt, the Red Tilson nominee for most outstanding player in the OHL. 2 assists. This is game number 5, 45 goals in the regular season. Has not beaten a Kitchener netminder in this series. Chris Green to David Herring. He's been a force. 5 points coming into tonight, but he's really a third-line guy. It's great that your depth guys are getting points, but the big guns have to be the big guys. That has been the case for the Rangers. Michael Richards, 7 points coming into tonight. Add a goal and an assist tonight, so 9 points in his 5th game. Patrick Davis, one of the depth guys, finally stepping up for the Rangers with a goal here tonight.
Well, that's one thing that you're going to be looking for in the Erie Otters right now, is you're going to see who wants it bad enough in this hockey team, because if they get something going in this third period, they got to get a couple of goals or something to get themselves some momentum into the next game. That's what it's going to be all about in this third period. The Kitchener Rangers continue to bear down, put any more pucks in the net. It can be very difficult to get yourself up for that next game.
Well, Adam Keefe was part of the Rangers Memorial Cup squad. There's 5 members left on the Rangers team, and only Craig Vokes coming into tonight had picked up a point outside of those Mem Cup 5. Here's Mike Duco. The puck bounces over his stick. Tonight, Davis has a goal, and Mark Fraser has an assist. So now 8 different Rangers with points. Donnelly's pass meant for Applebaum into a skate, and the teams will battle for the puck right in front of the Erie bench. Here is Chris Green on it. Ryan Donnelly wraps him up, and he is going to get called.
Yeah, the big Ryan Donnelly doing a big bear hug on the 19. Chris Green dragging him down. Of course, Ryan Carroll's going to react to that. You can see the big free arm. When the referee's looking for that free arm, if you got the free arm out there and you use that, the arm that you use to drag someone down, you see his left hand here pull him down. That's when the referee's going to react. You see him across the way, putting his arm in the air. We're trained as officials to watch for that free arm. When that free arm does the wraparound, then we know we might be getting a penalty here.
Well, there's a couple of souvenirs. They must have purchased those. How did both of them get immaculate Kitchener Ranger pucks? So an opportunity here for the Erie Otters, down by 3. They need their power play to get clicking here. O'Mara, long shot. Flagler gets a piece of that one with his glove, and then it touches the end netting.
You can see that it's kind of a slow, sluggish little period going on here right now, where both teams trying to feel each other out, trying to find a way to get themselves back in the game. For the Erie Otters, this power play here, O'Mara, one of the players, like we said, has had many, many opportunities and had some great success in the playoffs last year. He's the guy that they're going to try to get some pucks in with a big, high-rising shot there.
Ryan O'Mara at center ice wins a faceoff from Azevedo. But the Rangers come up with the puck as both Richards and Azevedo on the ice. For the penalty kill, there's a nice save by Disher. And they're covered for the face-off, and Jeff Platt gets tangled up with his teammate, crashes into the end boards, and he is injured. Jeff Platt, or at least hurt, as he is slow to get up, but he will stay out onto the ice. Now Pepe loses his footing. O'Mara has a man. O'Connor, a bouncing puck, doesn't find its intended target.
It was a great play by Boris Valabek there. He saw his partner go down, and he went quickly for the support on that play and made a great play defensively to take that pass out.
Minute left in the penalty to Ryan Donnelly. Jeff Platt up through center ice for big Ryan O'Mara. This is his NHL draft year, if there is a draft. Here's Lee's shot. Flagler to save the rebound. O'Mara can't bury it. The Erie Otters, though, come close and continue to pressure. The puck bounces out front. Shannon gloves it down. He touches it himself, so its play is allowed to continue. Herring hands it off to Jeff Platt out front for Shannon. Henderson, nice poke check, reads the play perfectly. Shannon lets it go to Platt. He can't get a shot away. Back for Herring, and his shot is blocked by Kevin Henderson.
This Henderson stock is going up rapidly as he plays so superbly throughout these playoffs, Roger.
Hardly used in the penalty kill at all in the regular season. Later on, a little bit, and now here in the playoffs, he's been a regular out there and has been doing an excellent job. Kevin Henderson, the former Thornhill Junior A star.
Well, you're saying, Roger, these players are looking at possibly no draft this year, but we know we might have bigger nets, so we got that one figured out.
All right, take it easy, Lance. Simmer down now. Josh Disher, cool in the net for the Erie Otters. Well, it's the Otters, and there's a big beaver. That's not friendly for a waterfowl, though, the Dom Cardillo. Not tonight. The Moose, though, that's a different story. Let's join Kelly Walmsley for a fan in the stands.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Zach and Katie and Matthew. Zach, you play hockey. Who do you play for?
Yeah, I play for Waterloo MD.
Okay, we're going to go back upstairs. We'll come back down to you at the next break.
All right, thank you. We'll get it back down to those cool cats. 14 and a half minutes to go in the third period. 4-1, the Kitchener Rangers leading, and let's go back downstairs. Here's Kelly Walmsley.
We're back down here with Zach, Katie, and Matthew. Katie, do you do any sports?
Yeah, I swim.
What do you swim?
I swim freestyle.
Freestyle. And who do you swim for? Don't shake. Don't be nervous. It's okay.
I swim for my school.
Cool. And you play ball hockey? What position do you play?
Goalie.
Oh my God, I love goalies. Okay. What's your team?
It's just like you get into a big group and you split up into two teams.
That's very cool. All right, thanks guys for coming on. We're going to go back upstairs with Roger and Lance.
All right, thank you, Kelly, and all of your guests. The Rangers get the puck towards Josh Disher, and he'll hold on.
Of course she loves goalies. Her dad is a goalie. Rick Walmsley played 14, 15 some years in the National Hockey League. And he was a great, great goaltender when he played, and he's a great, great scout now for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yep, and their goaltending coach also.
Also goaltending coach, yes. Here's some good hockey going on here, too. Some good stuff going to the net hard. You can see that Disher has to come up with the saves, and the Kitchener Rangers continue to have good puck possession. They're starting to bring some speed into the attacking zone.
Mike Duco, one of those players with some good speed, still looking for his first goal of this postseason. The youngster, Mike Duco, even exceeded expectations of the Rangers coaching staff this year. 24 goals, 26 assists. Rugged body checker, fearless player also. Rangers, a couple of their youngsters smaller, but Duco and Azevedo, fearless, will take on anyone.
Well, Duco, he's just so solid on his skates, and he's so strong on his skates. You can see the Erie bench here, sending Platt over the boards. He's a guy they're going to keep going to, keep playing him, trying to get him into this hockey game. As you see Thomas Galasek, he's been a superb performer for this team for quite a few years now, and he's one of those guys that plays effectively every night. Great on the defensive side of the puck, just not able to do much on the offensive side so far in this series.
Richards on his backhand side wins a face-off. The Erie Otters will come up with the puck. O'Connor spins, and that shot is blocked by Matt Lashoff. Jeff Platt from a bad angle, and Flagler is wise and covers up.
Well, again, you see Andre Benoit, and you see Lashoff out there against Platt, trying to keep Benoit out there in front of him and keeping him, checking him, and they've been doing a great job of shutting him down, because he's a guy that can start to score goals that can be effective in this series if he gets his scoring touch back.
This time it's Azevedo on the near side of the ice, and Platt wins a draw. Deflected, Flagler makes a great save, and Benoit bails him out, clearing the rebound to center ice. Here comes Sean O'Connor for Jeff Platt, looking to break out, and Flagler buys a couple of seconds off the clock and then covers up.
Well, like I was saying for Jeff Platt, you know, the guys start to key on you, they start to focus on you out there. Good opportunity here to try to get the puck across and make the play. He's still trying to work hard to do what he has to do to put that puck in the net. Flagler coming across, making a great save, and again, you see him again making a great shot here. But they are focusing on him. They're making it tough for him to get any kind of opportunity to score.
Well, the shots on goal just about even now. 32-30, Kitchener with the edge. But Eric Flagler, yes, starting to become a story of this series, a second half anyways. Game 3, the Rangers battle and battle. They take the lead, and then their starting netminder, Dan Turple, gets injured. Flagler holds on, and they get the victory. And then he starts on the road, game number 4, and he gets the victory. And here he is tonight. Could he go 3-0 in the postseason?
Well, there's Harry, and these guys are trying to pick this stuff up. The Erie Otters are trying to get themselves into this hockey game. Brian Lee, who's played solidly on the D for the last 5 games in this series. You see if we can get this, Erie Otters can get themselves some momentum out of this period. They need a couple of goals, get things close, get themselves feeling good and confident going into this next hockey game, and possibly if they get some more, they can come back and win it. You never know in junior hockey, anything can happen.
That's right. The next game is tomorrow night in Erie, and then Game 7 would be here Monday. But still, 12:44 to go in the third period. DeBoer using the bench. It's the fourth line. Applebaum with Donnelly and Duco, and Applebaum gets bumped by Chris Green.
Looks like they're really battling the ice out there. It's like Duco coming across is very uncharacteristically of him and losing the puck there. Peter DeBoer, who's doing a great job and working his bench. He's been rolling the 4 lines. Everybody's getting their opportunity to play. He's getting some guys rested in certain situations and allowing them, because he's got a 4-1 lead, to keep them rested for tomorrow night. So one of the things that's been a factor is ability to move that bench and work the bench.
But still recognizing And you can't take the Erie Otters lightly, going with 5 defensemen. Jakob Kindle is injured. Dan Jens has not seen a shift on the ice yet for the Rangers. There's Matt Lashoff, and Vince Scott hit hard by Matt Pepe. Lashoff comes up with the puck. Spite can't get it from him, and a big hit. Derek Bagshaw from behind. The referee's arm immediately is raised to the air. Nelson pushing and shoving, but the Rangers maybe trying to stay out of the penalty box.
Well, like I talk about it all the time, Roger, you got to have respect for the guy you're playing against. We said the same thing with Mike Richards hit the Erie Otter player. You can't be doing that. You can't be taking a man in the back like that. And this is exactly what I don't like to see in the game of hockey. This is just a hit that you don't need to be hitting a player in that situation. He's defenseless, and you're going to take him into the boards head first. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Duco is a pretty tough player here. You can see him going in, taking him into the boards heavily. You have to be thinking better than that. And, of course, Ryan Carroll making the right call here, assessing the major in game, and the Erie Otters will have to have a chat with that young man and ask him, how can you take it out of our team like that? We're down 4-1, and you take a decision like that to take that player into the boards from behind, crumple him, and take a major penalty. You can't be thinking very, very well for our hockey club.
At least a major penalty. Very dangerous body check.
Those are the kinds of things you like to see from officials, to stand up and make a call like that to show that that's not the kind of hockey you want to see in this hockey game. It's going to make the players respect a lot more the fact that he's making those calls.
Well, you'd hope it wouldn't take a referee to get that respect. Mike Duco, a good sign, though, on his own accord, walking to the trainer's room. Andre Benoit hands it off to Craig Vokes. Kitchener to the power play. Under 12 minutes to go in the third. One more goal would ice this hockey game. Kitchener leads 4-1. Game number 5, the series tied at 2 games apiece.
No, in fairness to Derek Bagshaw, he didn't look like it was like an intentional, like driving into the boards kind of hurt type of thing. I think he really didn't mean to do what he did in that situation, but irregardless, it's still something you have to be penalized for.
Richards to McGrath to Vokes. He shoots, and Disher makes a save.
We see how they set things up here. See Benoit setting it up. He's looking for the play here. Out comes Richards, looking like the speed. He's been working on the skating part of his game. He's really starting to develop a lot of speed for that neutral zone, which sets this whole thing up for that shot on net. And Disher having to make the save. Disher is probably their best penalty killer on this Erie Otter team.
Justin Azevedo with the puck as the Rangers try to get one here on this major penalty to Derek Bagshaw. Matt Lashoff plays it in deep. If the Otters can kill it off, there will still be about 7 minutes to go, and they'll have a little bit of momentum. The Rangers, though, looking to score. Adam Keefe parked out in front. There's a shot deflected by Keefe just wide of the goal. Now it is Lashoff. His shot is blocked by Andrew Shannon. Lashoff manages to keep the puck in. Some good hand-eye coordination from the 18-year-old. Late birthday. This would be his NHL draft year. Scott can't clear. Azevedo keeps it in with his skate and will play it in deep. Merlini bumps into McGrath. Adam Keefe tries the return feed, doesn't work. Chris Green, the Messina, New York native, and gets it the length of the ice. And some penalties in behind the play.
Look at taking a roughing penalty going to Adam Keefe behind the play. You got to know it's a five-minute major has been called for checking from behind. That the referee, if he's not going to allow something to happen behind the play, that he's not going to be letting you get away with something in those situations. You can't put yourself into a position to give them an opportunity to want to give you a penalty, and you can see it happen. We missed it as he turns and he gives the punch to him. You have to make sure that you keep yourself out of a situation that the referee can give any opportunity for them to make that call, and you have to watch yourself when you're in the situation. It's a 5-on-4, and you want to keep yourself disciplined in that situation.
Now a 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then Kitchener back to the power play for 1:14. Now you talked about Richards and his great speed. I asked Ken Hitchcock a couple of years ago about this youngster Richards, and he said the only thing we want him to work on in as his first 3 strides, explosive speed, and I think that's why Richards is one of the best penalty killers, because his first 3 strides, he can leave the defense behind, and he has a breakaway into goal.
That's right. When he gets his opportunity, he is very, very quick. He accelerates very quickly. He's very smart, and he reads the play so well.
Voted the 2nd smartest player in the Western Conference in the OHL coaches poll, second only to his former Flyers teammate Jeff Carter. And here are some of the notables from the Western coaches poll. Adam Keefe, the hardest worker and second best in the defensive forward category.
We've seen that night after night here in this Dom Cadillo Arena. And Platt, the best skater, and we've seen Platt's speed on the outside. He is an exceptionally fast accelerator also when it comes to skating.
And he was also voted second most dangerous in the goal area, but he did come close here tonight in the goal area, but Eric Flagler was just a little too good for him.
One thing in this series, when these goal scorers have to step into a playoff series, they got to know that they're going to be tracked, and they're going to be followed, they're going to be watched very closely out there. They're going to do lots of things to make you ineffective, but like any other player like a Richards or a McGrath, you have to find a way to beat whatever's coming at you.
Well, the Otters were able to take the first 2 games in low-scoring affairs. Here tonight, though, the Rangers have exploded for 4 goals, and scoring for Erie remains a problem. Coming into tonight, in 4 games, Kitchener had scored 11 goals, or make that 10 goals, and the Erie Otters has scored 11, so it was very even in that aspect.
One thing to look at too, Roger, is the fact that momentum swings in this series, and some of the key moments in this series so far have been different situations. Like I would say in the first game, game 1, one of the biggest momentum shifts was the 5-on-3 they had for 4 minutes in that first half of that first period. We're only able to get 1 goal out of that situation. It seemed to get the Erie Otters going the direction they wanted to go. The next situation was a big turn for this series was the goal that Richards scored, his first goal that night, and that was in game 3. That changed this series quite a bit.
Well, there was Richards again showing his great speed, almost getting the puck away from the Erie Otters. 9:25 to go in this 3rd period. A minute left on this 4-on-4. Here is Michael Richards with the puck. Andre Benoit keeps the puck in momentarily, now has to hustle to get back into position. 3 Otters on this rush. You don't want to get caught with a 3-goal lead. Jeff Platt walks out front, takes a shot. Flagler kicks that one aside with ease. Now trying to walk out front is Andrew Hotham, muscles his way out front, but the Rangers come up with the puck. A penalty coming up behind the plate of the Otters. Clarkson passes it off to Andre Benoit. The pass in behind him, but Kitchener will go to the 4-on-3 advantage.
Well, you can see the slash here, little frustrations from the Erie Otters in the fact that they're trying to get back in this game. Let a nice play here by Clarkson. You can see Benoit coming to the net. Benoit just missing the play. Another good play by Disher and getting his paddle down and making sure that that puck doesn't get across. He doesn't even touch it. It goes right through all of them there. So we see a penalty coming up here. Another slashing penalty. It'll be a 4-on-3 situation. A lot of open ice starting to open up out there now.
Brett McLean, the underage, or a costly penalty for him. Josh Disher going to the Erie bench, not to be replaced, just getting a bit of an equipment change. Maybe take the stone to the edge of his skate. Now this guy deserves a breather, whether it's legitimate or not. This guy has been busy in this series.
He has seen a lot of rubber, no doubt about it. He has stopped a lot of pucks. This young athlete has been in that net doing a job. The last 5 games and 3 overtime periods, he has played a lot of hockey. In some ways, that could be a blessing for the Kitchener Rangers if Flagler's able to go in and the other players get a bit of a rest. Triple's getting a rest. Flagler comes in, he's fresh. Some things happen that way. You never know. It could be to your advantage.
Well, the Erie Otters can't pull Disher from this game because they still think they can come back and win it, but it would be good heading back on home ice tomorrow if they could rest.
Yeah.
There's Andre Benoit with the puck. At the top of the circle, he'll hand it off to Craig Vokes. He takes a shot, and Disher in perfect position makes the save.
So you got Craig Vokes on the point, and that's something he has said, or actually said to Dave McLelland. He loves playing the point of those power plays. He's very effective at moving the puck and making puck control. One thing the Kitchener Rangers do work on it a lot is good puck control.
Now the Otters work the puck out to center ice. Here come the Rangers. Andre Benoit. He'll hand it off. It's a 5-on-3 now for Kitchener. Benoit hands it off to Vokes. This is Davis at the side of the goal. Puck is bouncing, sitting there. Disher has it, and he will hold on for the faceoff.
Another 5-on-3 here for the Kitchener Rangers with that major penalty kicking in still. With another minute left in a 5-on-3 situation, they have to put a few pucks in there. It's giving them a chance to give a breather to a few players, getting a chance to get some power play action here.
Richards, McGrath, Azevedo, Vokes, and Benoit. Benoit hands it off to McGrath, cross ice, and unable to connect with Azevedo. Benoit with the puck again. He takes the return feed. Now Vokes plays it into Azevedo. The return pass, he scores! Craig Vokes, his first goal of this postseason.
Well, the Kitchener Rangers showing the ability to move that puck very, very quickly. Not allowing Disher to get set up when the shot comes, and he's not able to make the save on that one. And you can see the tired hockey players out there for the Erie Otters. You can see them with their heads down, knowing that they're putting themselves in a real big hole here that they're going to have to try to dig themselves out of. And it'll be very, very difficult as time goes on in this hockey game to be able to do what they have to do.
Well, we just talked about it. Now Jace Snyderman is going to relieve Josh Disher in the Erie net.
Well, that's a good thing for Josh Disher. He's been a great, great goaltender for this team. Give him a little bit of a rest. Maybe he'll be able to be fresh to come back tomorrow night in Erie because they're going to need him big time. But it looks like with the Kitchener Rangers, they're really going strong right now. Have a lot of confidence. And Jay Snyder here, Snyderman's going to have to come up big continually as they're going to continue to come at him. The Erie Otters are a team right now that have to find some way to get some momentum going into tomorrow night's game.
Well, can Jace Snyderman, the godson of Geddy Lee of Rush, get a little rock and roll happening on the ice for the Otters? A little momentum, a little razzmatazz. There's a shot, and there's a nice save by Snyderman. Lash off for Vokes. That shot is blocked. Snyderman, though, prefers the comic books over the rock and roll. Its mask is painted as Spider-Man. Jean-Michel Risk plays it in for Adam Keefe. Jean-Michel Risk puts it out front. The puck is there, and Chris Green comes up with it. And as Snyderman came in, your friendly neighborhood Schneiderman, Dave Schneider, announced him coming in, a local radio personality in Kitchener.
Yes, he is, and I'll tell you, another personality for Erie is Peter Zadorkowicz, and he did say one thing, that taking penalties continually with this club, against this club, was going to hurt them, and that has hurt them again tonight, taking penalties at the wrong times and inopportune times. They have to start to play with discipline. I've been really impressed to see how Wayback has kept his discipline throughout this hockey game.
There's a shot wide of the goal. By my calculations, Josh Disher stopped. Let's see here, 30 of 35 shots he faced. Here's a shot wide of the goal. Otters crashing the net. Jeff Platt in behind Eric Flagler. As the Rangers, Miles Applebaum brings it back in for Kitchener. Laid pass for Platt. Maybe if he can get a goal here late, it may not help tonight, but maybe he can carry that on into tomorrow evening. And Erie, as Flagler makes another solid save in Kitchener's goal.
Well, you can see Platt here getting a chance to show the skills this young hockey player has, the amazing skating skills that he has, showing how quickly he goes to the lateral side to set himself up for the shot. But you can see them coming to the net. The Erie Otters are trying to get to the net, but a great job being done by the Kitchener Rangers and keeping them from getting to the front of that net and getting to Flagler. They're doing a good job and keeping them into the outside. You got to give them some credit. There's been some hard work done by that defense of the Kitchener Rangers.
Dan Jens on defense for the Rangers. There's a shot. And Flagler comes up with another quality save. Jean-Michel Risk racing for the puck. Now he puts on the brakes. The linesman and Spite were in his way. Henderson will bank it off the boards, and here is Azevedo, one man to beat. Jacob Heller Heller, the big boy, 6'2", 220-pounder, handles the 5'8" Azevedo, tossing him to the ice. Here is Snyderman, a Hamilton native, former OHL Cup MVP. The OHL Cup just underway, or finished in the Toronto region before those teams will move on and compete. The Toronto Marlboros winning it. Here's Galasek, his shot, a deflection wide of the goal. Galasek right back on it. 5.5 minutes to go in this third period. 5-1. Kitchener leads. Patrick Davis, 7:29 in the first period. There's a shot. Flagler looking around for the puck. Now Galasek back to the blue line. This is Chad Loikitz. He'll just chip it into the corner, and Matt Pepe looks to slap it out. Henderson giving the second effort, cannot. And Flagler was going to play it, but the whistle sounds before he's able to do so.
Well, you can see Azevedo out here. This is what this young athlete does so well. He's got so much speed and so much ability to play with, to make the quick turn, to get the puck, keep control of the puck. Takes a lot of work by a player to have to hang on and get that puck off him.
Well, we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. The Ottawa 67s looking to take a 3-1 series lead. The Brampton Battalion looking to pull within one as the Wolves lead that series 3-1. Well, we got 15 minutes gone in this third period, 5 minutes to go, unless the Otters can make a miraculous comeback. Icing is the call. Faceoff will be in the Erie zone.
Well, right now the Kitchener Rangers have a pretty good control of this hockey game, and they just got to play pretty smart. Make sure that they make things simple, pick up their checks, keep things to the outside. Erie Otters are just trying to find some way to win this period or get some kind of momentum in this hockey game going into the game for tomorrow night.
Well, Jay Snyderman in the net as Brett McLean on the breakaway. Flagler makes a great save. The Flagler in the Rangers net. The Labick goes and grabs a goalie stick in behind the play as the Rangers bring it back into the Erie zone. Well, we got Kelly Walmsley and a Moose Winooski's fan in the stands coming up. Jay Snyderman in net for the Otters. Maybe Kelly Walmsley should come up here in the broadcast booth. But for the time being, we'll go ice level. Here is Kelly Walmsley and a Moose Winooski's uniquely Canadian fan in the stands.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Tyler. Tyler, do you play any sports?
I used to play hockey. I used to play center.
You used to play center. How many Ranger games do you get out to?
Most of them.
And do you think they can take the series now?
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think's been playing the best so far this series?
I think David Clarkson is getting up there.
All right, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to go back upstairs to Roger and Lance.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. 4 minutes to go here in the third period. Big Michael Blunden looking to drill fellow Gloucester native Mark Fraser into the boards, but Fraser stepped out of the way. Both teams using their full bench now, preparing for Game 6 tomorrow in Erie. Game 7, if necessary, back here Monday night. If not, the Rangers will be getting ready for the London Knights if they can win tonight and tomorrow in Erie. Here's Craig Vokes, that one off a skate wide of the goal. Craig Vokes in the corner will go to the corner and put it back into the corner as Ryan Donnelly, the big former captain of the Windsor Spitfires, hands it off to Vokes. The underager Applebaum ridden out by Chad Lokitz, the 17-year-old. Referee Ryan Carroll. Let's play continue on. The Otters now out shooting the Kitchener Rangers 39-36. Penalty coming up to the Rangers. Ryan Donnelly in behind the play as Jacob Heller is in some discomfort by the Erie net.
It looked like a bit of a battle between Heller and Donnelly, and Heller kind of came out on the bad side of this battle, and a little bit of a shot here. You can see him giving the shot going down. You can see the arm going up, and the penalty call being made. Got to keep yourself set up to keep yourself going and out of the box, but be a 5-on-4 now for Erie. But you can see the breakaway here. And now watch how Flagler comes out and challenges the shooter here and makes the big poke check on the play, taking him out and making a great save.
2:56 to go. Erie to the power play. Kitchener leads by 4. Well, Michael Richards will join Dave McLelland post-game for his thoughts on this game and this series. Adam Keefe did not keep the puck in at the blue line.
Really tight call there, but that's what their job is to make these tight, close calls. They got to make it instantaneous what they're calling out there. Adam Keefe just got to stay within the zone there. Don't get himself outside that zone, do anything stupid right now at this time of the game. They're going to need him for a long time. And what a great year he's had so far this season, doing a great job both in the form of physical play and also putting some points on the board.
Flagler gloves the puck, leaves it at the back of the goal. Well, Sault Ste. Marie beats Windsor. The winner from this series will face the London Knights, who swept the Guelph Storm 4 games straight. And will there be a new owner of the Guelph Storm next year? A hostile takeover in effect right now. The group that operates the Sports and Entertainment Center in Guelph is looking to buy the team. There was a provision in the contract that if the owners were guaranteed such a profit in the first 2 years, if they didn't get it, then they could ask for the ownership of the arena to chip in some extra money. Apparently, the owners did, over $300,000, and that opened up an option in a couple years' time for the arena group that owns the arena to buy the team for $3.25 million. It's now heading to the courtrooms.
Well, they've had a pretty good management team in that Guelph Storm, and there have been some people that have done a lot of hard work over there. Hopefully everything will work out in the end.
Here is Brian Lee for the Otters. O'Mara hands it off. Blunden a shot, and Flagler got that one in the noggin. And Jeff Platt will play it in for Blunden. The wraparound attempt. Flagler is there. Azevedo can't clear. Lee, who had the game-winning goal in game number 2, takes a shot there.
Well, the Erie Otters continue to get themselves stoned by Flagler here. He is just all over, taking it off the mast, whatever it takes to stop a puck. Flagler, doesn't matter to him. He'll stop it anyway. He'll stop and stand on his head if he has to. He's not aware about how pretty he looks out there. It's just about how effective he can make it in net.
Well, he has stopped 42 of 43 shots in this hockey game. Doesn't stop that one, though. A rocket from the blue line, and Jeff Platt gets his first goal of this series. Could that open the floodgate for him?
Well, I don't know, but he's finally got himself on the board, and it's a power play goal, which he has had 20 of them this year. One of the leading guys for power play goals. You can see why he had so many goals this season with a deadly shot like that. No chance for Flagler to make a save on that one. He's been waiting for that opportunity for quite a while, for 5 games, to get that opportunity to blast that one to the top corner, and that's something that's monkey off his back now. Who knows? Maybe he'll start getting his game going.
Game 6 in the series tomorrow night in Erie. Now it's Platt unassisted, his first goal and 3rd point in the 5th game of this series. Now a minute to go. Donnelly out of the penalty box will go onto the ice at the Rangers' modified 4th line, with Risk taking the spot of Mike Duco, who was hit from behind by Derek Bagshaw. Matt Lashoff ranked 10th overall by NHL Central Scouting in North America. And I would say he should even be higher than that. Look at this. Lashoff shoots. Snyderman makes the save. Wasn't sure he had it.
What great pure talent Matt Lashoff has when he wants to go out there. He wants to skate and he wants to dangle out there. He does a great job in puck handling and doing some good splitting the D here, going over to get the shot off. He shows a lot of great skill when he's playing like that.
Smooth skater, such poise. Well, half a minute to go. Icing is waved off. The Otters on the delayed offside. And it can't come soon enough for my ailing voice. This hockey game is done. The Rangers take a 3-2 series lead.
Well, they've won 3 in a row now, Roger, and they've done it in great fashion. They've done it with battling to the net. They've done it in many different ways to win these 3 hockey games. The Erie Otters have got to be a team that has to be sitting back now and got to be regrouping. They're going to be getting their plan back together to get to the same level they were at in the first 2 games. Start doing the things they were doing right in the first 2 games. Big thing in this game is Jeff Platt gets his goal for Erie. That's one thing's going to help them, but the Kitchener Rangers have got good grasp on this series now.
How about Eric Flagler? The start of the hockey season, he and DiRienzo shared some duties, and Peter DeBoer went, you win, you stay in. Well, the Rangers won 9 in a row, and then they traded for Dan Turple, and this guy hardly saw any action, but look what he is doing now.
But I'll tell you, some good thinking on the part of the Kitchener Ranger management team in getting themselves set up to have a 19-year-old with a lot of experience sitting on the bench to back up in case Turple gets knocked out. Some good, solid planning down the road for them, and it's paying off in dividends at this time of the playoffs.
Well, Eric Flagler stopping 43 of 44 shots tonight. The Erie Otters outshoot the Kitchener Rangers 44-37, yet they lose.
Well, that happens out there sometimes. It doesn't matter how many shots are on the board, it's how many that go in the net. And like Peter DeBoer says, we just want to win the game, Roger.
Well, Kevin Henderson, the 3rd star tonight.
This young man's stock just keeps going up. Kevin Henderson's playing some superb hockey, has been getting stronger, has been playing like a high-class performer in these playoffs. And of course, Michael Richards, what can you say about him? He has shown this team how to win. He did it in Game 3. He went out and did a Mark Messier-type performance, and this team hasn't looked back since.
Well, he had a goal and an assist in tonight's game. And Eric Flagler, the first time a Rangers goaltender has been a star in this series.
This is how legends are made, and Eric Flagler is becoming a legend in this town by playing and coming in cold and doing a great job and backstopping these Kitchener Rangers and doing a good job for Turple. You can see the great save coming up here off the breakaway. You see how he comes out and challenges the shooter using the old lost art of poke checking and does a great job of taking out the player and making the save. He's been just absolutely the biggest story in this playoffs right now in Game 5.
Okay, we'll take a break. He was certainly the story tonight. That is for sure. Michael Richards joins Dave McLelland. We're back. Welcome back to the Dom Cardillo Arena in Kitchener. The Rangers, a convincing 5-2 victory tonight. Michael Richards will join Dave McLelland in a moment or two. This shot here, Clarkson gets credit. It looks like it deflects off of Merlini, then Lee.
It was a double dipper to go by Disher, I think. That was double deflection. Disher having a problem handling that. I don't think Clarkson did hit that one, but we haven't got a great angle on it because we're blocked by the goaltender there. He might have touched it also. It could have been three deflections on that one.
So Clarkson gets credit for that goal, and then there's more Eric Flagler.
More of Eric Flagler, no doubt. Great glove save. He has stepped in and done an amazing job. A lot of backups can walk in. I mean, like Peter Sidorkiewicz says, I mean, if he lets in 8 goals or whatever, he's the backup. He could have. It was a way to bail out if he wanted to, but he hasn't. He stood in there. He's backstopped this team. His team loves him. They're playing hard for him out front. They're making things happen. Sometimes it reverses and does it even more. They work harder for him.
Well, the captain of the Rangers is standing by, so let's throw it down to Dave McLelland.
Thanks, Roger and Lance. Joining me now, the captain of the Kitchener Rangers, Captain Canada, Mike, as you've been called this year for the right reasons. Number 18, a great win for the Rangers tonight.
Yeah, we played well tonight. I think everybody battled. I think a lot of guys blocked shots, and we did what we needed to do to win the game.
You contributed with a goal tonight. Let's have a look at that one. Call it for us.
We just were working about getting pucks to the net and a little bit of a scramble in front there, and I was lucky enough to put it in.
Little backhand flip?
Yeah.
I love that backhand, and goalies hate it. I don't know if you know that or not, but that's what they tell me anyway.
Yeah, apparently it's a hard shot to stop.
You know, it's interesting. You were down 2-0 in the series, and talking with Peter DeBoer, and I said, you know, Peter, before the third game, if the Rangers are going to win this in 6, they need to start with a win tonight. And they haven't won it yet, but you're certainly well on that road. After Game 5, you're finally in the lead in the series.
Yeah, we've battled back pretty hard. We've showed a lot of character, what we've done all year, and we've really took it to in the last couple of games. We've played hard. We've had a lot of guys contributing to our success, and the fourth game is always the hardest one to win, so tomorrow night's going to be another battle.
Well, you know, you talk about showing hard out there. Let's face it, 2 games ago you were down 3-1, came back to win the 4-3 on your goal in OT. Wednesday night down in Erie, I think a lot of people have written you guys off. Another 2-0 loss, and you guys proved them wrong.
Yeah, like I said before, we had a lot of guys stepping up to the plate, and we've done a lot of things right the past couple of games. Our team has really battled back from some adversity, which we've done all year, and it was nice to get the first one under the belt, and then the second one we kind of gained momentum into tonight.
You know, when we were talking in the second intermission with Boris Vlahovic, I mentioned about Eric Flagler. He certainly played well coming off the bench.
Yeah, he really has. From a guy that's not played very much down the stretch, and even in the playoffs, he's really battled hard for us. And you know, he's made the key saves which we really needed, and he's kept us in a lot of the games. And I think we got a lot of confidence in him.
Well, it doesn't give you much time to rest, Mike. It's off to Erie tomorrow.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys would rather have it like this, kind of go into Erie tomorrow on a high, and I don't think it'd be any better building to win it as in Erie is with the fans there.
Well, thanks very much. Again, congratulations also on being selected the second star of the game tonight, and all the best to you and the Rangers tomorrow in Erie.
All right, thanks for having me.
Let's go back up top and rejoin Roger and Lance for more post-game wrap.
Thank you, Dave. And Mike and Michael Richards saying that a lot of players stepping up, but really they just take the lead of their captain.
Well, you know what? And the guys that have to be the best are being the best for the Kitchener Rangers right now. David Clarkson's doing his job. Evan McGrath putting pucks in net. Michael Richards playing tough. Benoit doing what he has to do. The rest of these guys out there are all following the lead. Henderson's playing with a lot of authority and aggressiveness out there, playing some of his best hockey. Ryan Donnelly's playing with some of his best hockey. And Justin Azevedo. I mean, this team right now is firing on all cylinders.
Well, the Kitchener Rangers, yes, they get 5 goals tonight. Michael Richards, a captain with a goal and an assist. Kevin Henderson, the third star, and netminder Eric Flagler, stopping 43 of 44 shots, is named the game's first star. The Kitchener Rangers take a 3-2 series lead. Again, the final score, Kitchener 5, the Erie Otters 2. For Lance Roberts, Dave McLelland, Kelly Walmsley, and our entire Rogers crew, I'm Roger Wardell. It has been a good night of hockey, and now a good night to you.